The 2014 regular season is coming to a close. That means celebrating seniors for a final time and getting ready for the postseason. The Panthers of Hackleburg and the Chiefs of R.A. Hubbard have a score to settle. Tonight, a region title awaits the winner on Thursday Night Touchdowns.
Let's go!
We welcome you to Rice Stadium in Hackleburg, Alabama for Thursday Night Touchdowns. R.A. Hubbard, the Chiefs, and the Panthers of Hackleburg. Hi everybody, Graham Dunn alongside Mike Peacock. Christina Chambers also here. We will speak to her in just a minute. Mike, I tell you what, you can't beat the setup for this one. The winner is your region title in Class 1A Region A.
Well, this is what it's all about in high school football in Alabama this time of year, Graham. One game, winner take all for the region title, and this is a good one. Hackleburg and Hubbard, rivals. You can't ask for more this time of the season.
They will depend on a couple of running backs, guys who will, as you like to call it, tote the mail.
Absolutely.
You start off with K.J. Davis for the Chiefs.
800 yards, a little over 800 yards rushing, 12 touchdowns this season. He is the guy for the Chiefs. Look for him to get the ball in his hands quite a bit tonight for the Chiefs offense.
And he will play a key role defensively as well. Meanwhile, on the other side, you got a young man who's also leading his team in rushing.
He is Christian Jones. He's also, Graham, as you mentioned, with the other running back, he's also a good linebacker on defense, but on the offensive side of the ball, 889 yards rushing. He could go over 1,000 yards tonight. Christian Jones is the guy who will tote the mail for Hackleburg.
Meanwhile, down on the sidelines, Christina Chambers. She'll be bringing you all the action down there. Hello, Christina.
Hello, guys. Hackleburg, last year they played for the region title at Hamilton High School. The Panthers were forced to play at nearby high schools because their football stadium was being rebuilt after a tornado destroyed it in 2011 along with its high school. Coach Rod Hudson says this season has been extremely motivating and important to this community and to this team, being able to play at home and be able to have those fans and home fans back on their side. They played 35 straight away games before this season, and they hope tonight brings them extra luck playing for that region title, but playing, most importantly, at home.
All right, Christina, thank you. Well, both of these teams will be in the postseason. One of them will play as the region champion, and we will have the kickoff coming up as Hackleburg plays host to R.A. Hubbard on Thursday Night Touchdowns.
I'm Steve Savarese, Executive Director of the Alabama High School Athletic Association. Unfortunately, in our society, winning has come before everything. But if winning comes at the expense of good sportsmanship, then nothing is gained in the long run. Good sportsmanship is the result of a disciplined effort to respect yourself, your opponents, and to practice the golden rule. Always remember, good sports are winners.
2/3 of drivers who died in car crashes chose to ignore this warning. Seatbelts save lives. Drive safe, Alabama. A message from your Alabama Department of Transportation.
If you're involved in a car crash where a driver's been drinking,
you're 4 times more likely to die.
More people die when it's DUI.
A message from your Alabama Department of Transportation.
I remember the moment.
I'll never forget that moment.
That changed my life.
At that moment, it hit me. This is why I joined the Guard. We're soldiers, always ready to protect our country. But we've also got communities. Family, friends, neighbors who count on us. I couldn't believe it. I just saved a life to somebody from my hometown.
See what it means to be a citizen soldier at NationalGuard.com.
Derek, what's with the scrubs? Shh.
She's going for it. It's gonna work. She's going for the burger.
Jack, everyone. I'm a doctor. Look, I got it. Doctor, I got it.
Jack, Jack, Jack for more, more, more.
Hackleburg and R.A. Hubbard ready to kick it off. The homestanding Panthers in all black tonight, and the R.A. Hubbard Chiefs in the white with black pants, orange numerals. As we're set to go again, this one will decide the Region 8 champion. Although right now, Hubbard has the one loss, but due to some of the tiebreakers and whatnot, if they win this one over an undefeated, at least in the region, Hackleburg team, they will be considered the champion. A short kick to start at about the 23-yard line, picked up there by Evan Crow. And he'll bring it across the 35 to the 38, and that is where the Panthers will start 1st and 10. And a quarterback, we didn't talk about the quarterbacks at the beginning, but both quarterbacks are very important to the success of these teams.
Oh, absolutely. Matt Harper, the quarterback, just a sophomore for Hackleburg, but he's already got 1 year of experience under his belt, starting as a freshman last year. He has thrown for right around 900 yards, 18 touchdowns this year, so look for him to have a big game as well.
And he'll do this a lot as well, run the football. And he's got about 12, getting up close to midfield on the first play of the game. It'll be a first down for Hackleburg.
Well, Graham, Coach Rod Hudson made a great comment. He said, I'm an Alabama fan, but if you watch our offense, we do a lot of the same things that Auburn does and that Coach Malzahn and those guys do at Auburn. We like to run downhill. We like for our quarterback to run the ball. We like for our running back to run the ball. And they also mix in the pass very well. So look for a lot of characteristically Auburn offense here tonight from Hackleburg.
And another run by the quarterback and another good gain, about 6 on the play. It was K.J. Davis coming up for the stop, but not before a good first down run. And quickly, let me run down your interior line for Hackleburg. They've got Austin Hill and Joseph Gilliland, JoJo they call him, at the guards. Tanner Sweeney, Ryan Davis are the tackles, and Matt Fincher is the center. And another big run, and this time it is number 6, Christian Jones, for a big play, and another first down for Hackleburg.
Well, you saw a little burst of speed right there from Christian Jones as he took the little misdirection play, came back to the left side and got a big gain for Hackleburg there. That's the kind of plays they love to run. They love to get Christian Jones in space.
We're going to get a timeout taken by head coach Nicholas Vincent. He does not like the way his chief defense has started the game, so he'll call it here with a shade over 10 minutes, or shade under 11 minutes gone here in the first period. But you see what Hackleburg likes to do, and I don't know that they're surprising R.A. Hubbard with what they're doing.
No, I don't think so. I think this is the same thing Hackleburg has done all year long. And Coach Hudson told me this week when he and I talked that offensively they like to try to balance it as much as possible. He said, but I'm going to tell you, we're going to lean more toward the run than we do the pass. Although we throw it well and we spread the ball around our receivers, and you have to cover the whole field as far as the pass goes, we really like to run the football, and we really like to run it downhill and get in space. And so far, not a pass play. Zone reads, a nice running play, misdirection running play there. They're going to try to run the football as much as possible.
The Chiefs come in 5-3, 4-1 as we mentioned in region play. That loss coming to Phillips out of Bear Creek. But they can still win the region if they win tonight. Kind of a sloppy snap. In fact, a flag will come in.
Not sure what happened there.
Yeah, I'm not either.
It almost looked like there was some kind of trick play brewing there, Graham, but the snap was not very good.
They'll call it a dead ball penalty, so they will mark it off automatically. It'll be a 5-yard step off. That'll put it at the 37, where it'll be 1st and 15.
I believe that might have been a snap infraction there, where started the snap and then finished it.
So Harper hands off, and ready for that play was Deontay Carter. Now this guy, you're going to hear his name a lot on both sides of the ball. He is also the starting quarterback for the Chiefs, but as Coach Vincent told me earlier, he said this guy's got to be all over the field. He'll be in the backfield. You're going to call his name a lot.
Well, he was definitely in the backfield right there. He was in the backfield almost by the time the snap got back there, and that play was going nowhere.
So all of a sudden, Hackleburg going the wrong way, and there's another play that goes nowhere. As Jones is hit first by Russell Orr, the linebacker. And now a 3rd and long, and we may see the first pass of the game coming up.
I tell you, Graham, that timeout by Coach Vinson, I believe it did a little bit of good with his guys because he woke them up a little bit, and they are really crashing to the football now.
Yeah, you had 3 guys around him there for Hubbard. 3rd and a mile, 3rd and 23 they call it. Harper throws a screen pass, and that's not going to get much. And I checked the number, I believe that's 50. Justin Willingham, who came up to make the stop, and that'll force a punt.
That was a nice tackle in the open field by Willingham there as he got the feet of Christian Jones tied up before he could get moving forward. Probably saved a decent play. I don't know if it had been a first down, but he saved a much bigger yardage play right there for the Chiefs.
So kind of like in basketball, they stop the bleeding after some big runs by Hackleburg, and they make some big plays as that punt is straight up in the air. It will take a Hackleburg roll, and it looks like it'll be down after all that inside the 20. So with just over 9 minutes to play, we'll see the Chiefs offense for the first time when we come back.
When facing a life-threatening illness, you often go through a range of emotions. You can't really put it into words, but all you know is that help is needed. Alacare Hospice is an approach to healthcare that is designed to support the physical, emotional, and spiritual needs of someone nearing end of life. Alacare Hospice is fully covered by Medicare and most private insurance policies, and it allows you to stay in the best place possible, your own home. Ask your doctor about the care that Alacare Home Health and Hospice provides.
Science is how we continually improve the quality of care. Earlier detection, newer therapies, laser procedures, creative new treatments, innovation in lenses. At Schaefer Eye Center, these aren't simply services we offer our patients. They're how we're using technology to help them see well into the future.
This is Dr. Daniel Smith. He's an expert in domestic and international economics. But his proudest achievement is connecting with his students and helping them accomplish more than they ever thought possible. That's the warrior spirit, and it's alive and well at Troy University. Feel it at troy.edu/spirit.
This year, our Alabama state parks are celebrating their 75th anniversary. To learn more about our amazing Alabama state parks, download their new mobile app. Go to alapark.com, that's ALAPARK.com, and click on the link for a free download. Well, Hackleburg got out of the gate quickly, but was then stymied after a R.A. Hubbard timeout, and so the Chiefs have it for the first time. And we get to see Mr. Carter at quarterback, wearing number 11. 6'5", 200 is what he was listed. He's a rather large gentleman, to say the least.
And he is not at quarterback right now.
He is not, you're right. That is number 7, Ricky Golston. And he'll make the handoff.
Carter was lined up at more like an H-back position, Graham, over on the left side. And so throwing a little wrinkle in here are the Chiefs against Hackleburg.
So we didn't see Deontay Carter at quarterback. Maybe we'll see him here. And you're right, you see him, he is lining up this time, looks like in the slot.
Right.
He's kind of hard to not miss. He is probably the biggest, at least tallest player on the field right now. Golston at quarterback in the shotgun. Davis looking for running room, and there is none. He is brought down at the 15-yard line. Gang tackle there. We'll give credit to Briley Holland on the stop, the defensive end. It'll be 3rd and 10 for Hubbard.
Good job right there of Hackleburg. And Coach Hudson said the key to their defense is controlling the line of scrimmage. He said he felt like since the first week of the season when they lost 13-12 in overtime to Marion County that they had improved steadily on defense, especially their tackling. And he said the key to our defense, we attack and we like to control the line of scrimmage.
3rd and 12 for the Chiefs. Golston again. Bootleg by the quarterback, and he gets nothing. He might have got a yard and hit hard on the opposite side of the field. I believe that was number 6.
That was Christian Jones. And there's that linebacker showing some of that defensive skill. We talked about him a lot on offense, but look at this. He's going to come up quick and get a good hit on Golston right here. Boom, right there. That's form tackling at its best as he took him down in the backfield.
So a punting situation for R.A. Hubbard, again out of Cortland, and as we'll explain to you, 2 schools combined to make R.A. Hubbard 2 great programs. That is Jordan Johnson to punt, and he hits one that's high to the 45, picked up there by Crow, and he'll take it back to about the 35, where the Panthers will have it 1st and 10. But you think of the 2 schools that combined here. Hazelwood.
Oh my goodness.
Cortland. I mean, you know that everybody, when they found out that was happening, were like, why?
Yeah,
why are you doing this?
Why are you doing this?
But they've only been to the state championship 1 time, and that was Vincent who took them. Apparently we had a penalty, a personal foul call against R.A. Hubbard, so that'll give the Panthers great field position as we check the spot. Looks like they're going to put it on about the 15-yard line, maybe the 10. Let's make it the 10-yard line.
Make them re-kick it. That's a.
Oh, they are going to. I'm sorry, you're right. They're going to make them re-kick.
Must have been a dead ball penalty there, or prior to the snap.
Prior to the, or better yet, prior to the exchange of the ball.
Right.
Post-possession.
So we'll do it again.
Pre-possession, I guess is the word. So Johnson again. This one not quite as good, and in fact, it's going to work in favor of Hackleburg. Out of bounds. Well, actually, that's about where they would have started the last drive.
And I think it hit a R.A. Hubbard player on the sideline over there who wasn't looking, and I think he's in a little bit of pain. Yeah, he went down to his knees after that wayward punt struck him in the abdomen, I believe, and he had to go down to his knees for a moment. I think he's okay, but you don't see that very often in football. You see foul balls hit people in baseball, but not normally on a football sideline.
So they mark it at the 33. I'll get back into my Hazelwood/Cortland story here in just a minute. The Panthers with the football, no score. 6:42 left. The quarterback again. Keeps it. In fact, Harper's pretty much done most of the damage here early on.
Well, Harper's a guy who's got, Graham, almost 800 yards rushing, 768, I believe, coming into this game. He's another guy. He could very well, between this week and next week, go over 1,000 yards rushing for the season, and he's most likely going to go over 1,000 yards passing. So an all-purpose guy who does a great job leading the offense for Hackleburg.
Ball just inside the 30. 2nd down. He will throw. Looks like a backwards pass. It goes to Court Stidham. And he barely got back to the line of scrimmage.
That may have been a double pass in the making there, and I think Stidham kind of lost the handle on the ball and had to get control. And so not quite the result that they wanted out of that play, but it wasn't disastrous.
Yeah, it does look like Stidham. Actually, he lost his footing.
He did.
He really didn't even get a chance to plant to throw, and I believe you're right, though, Mike. Looked like that might have been what we call it, a wide receiver pass. 3rd and 8. Harper's in trouble and flings it downfield, and it's intercepted. He just kind of threw that one up for grabs.
He did. He was on the run to his right and couldn't get really stopped and squared to throw the football, and just kind of threw it up for grabs. And there was a white shirt there waiting on it.
Yeah, and that's LeBronte Davenport. Better just to kind of toss that one out of bounds. He also kind of paid for it as he was being pressured by Russell Orr.
Took a little shot there.
So the turnover gives it back to R.A. Hubbard. And as I was mentioning, this program did go to the state finals in 2000, I believe, 10. They also won a girls basketball championship that year, and Vincent coached that team as well. On the far sideline, and a good pickup on 1st down, about 6 or 7 yards for KJ Davis, who will carry the ball most of the night for the Chiefs.
He will get the brunt of the carries, and you can see why. That time he just, and Coach Vincent said he had a knack for finding the hole. He was shifty and had a knack for finding those little seams and cracks. And right there, he just found a little seam and got in it, ran behind a couple of his linemen, and got a lot of extra yardage after contact right there.
So second, and we'll call it 4. Davis again, this time met at the line of scrimmage. In fact, he might have even lost a yard. A couple of guys there for Hackleburg. Christian Jones again. Also Brennan Rivas, Cole Rivas, with a stop. So it'll be a 3rd and about 5 for the Chiefs. Both of these offenses making steady progress, but then the other defense kind of getting in the way.
Well, if you look at those two linebackers, Austin Hill and Christian Jones for Hackleburg, those two guys are really good in the middle. And guys who will call a lot, ball tipped up in the air.
Yeah, that one was another errant throw, this time on the other side of the field.
Of course, they were throwing it up in the air over there because guess who was there? Mr. Carter over there was in his 6'5" frame. We're over there, and they were counting on him to go get it. Only problem was he fell down.
He did.
And you can't jump from your backside. At least it's very difficult.
So Jordan Johnson back again to punt. They've played most of this first quarter on the far end. The flag comes in as the punt is kicked away, but it is got to be stopped. And another 5-yard penalty apparently will be assessed, I believe, against R.A. Hubbard. And I think they may have an extra man out there. Can you count?
I can most days.
Nope, they're going to wave it off.
I'm going to tell you, Graham, I'm going to keep my eye on number 8, Briley Holland, right here. He has been close. You know, they had the penalty a while ago, but he's been close on each and every one of these punts to getting in there and getting a hand on the football. And he's a guy who's – Coach Hudson talked about him. He really loves this kid. He's about 5'8", 150 pounds. He said he plays a lot bigger than that, but he called him one of the unsung heroes of this team because he's always where he's supposed to be, never misses a workout, and he gets after it with a heart as big as this stadium. And he's been close every time.
They did actually
they got a body
assess
on
a penalty. Yep. This time the punt picked up at about the 45. And Crow will carry it forward. And once again, Hackleburg will have good field position when we come back. Stay tuned for more on Thursday Night Touchdowns.
I got a call from Ashley, one of my customers, because
it looks like there's been some sort of explosion.
There is soot everywhere, all over this house, and she finds something very strange.
Someone's been here.
Call 911. I'll be right there.
I can't hold it.
It turns out someone tried to break into her house, and they got stuck in the chimney. Ashley was covered for the damage to the chimney and the cleanup.
For service and savings, call Alpha.
At Baumhauer's, we're all about great sports, legendary food, and Southern pride. That's why we're serving up all your Southern favorites, like our tangy grilled fish salad, hot Bama brown, and our famous wings. And it wouldn't be the South if it didn't have a little kick, like a homemade gumbo and wild Gulf shrimp and grits. And don't forget our mouthwatering desserts like Bama Nana Pudding or strawberry shortcake. So call the gang and put a little South in your mouth.
Out of 89 Renaissance hotels in North America, the spa at the Renaissance Hotel in Montgomery was ranked #1 as of August 2014. Out of 358 Marriott hotels, the spa at the Marriott Shoals was ranked #1. 3 other spas on the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail also rank in the top 7. Clearly, world-class golf and the best spas for 2014 are in Sweet Home, Alabama. Call 800 Marriott to find out more.
2014 marks the 75th year our state parks have served the people of Alabama. During this diamond anniversary, you'll discover special events to celebrate this milestone. Hey there, Bob Baumhauer here. Whether you like camping under the stars or staying at a resort lodge, the Alabama State Parks specialize in amazing family adventures. Let's make this the best year yet. We depend on our partners, and just like these folks here, you can be a partner too by supporting our state parks.
Visit a park today! 1st and 10, Hackleburg, and they're going to throw it on the first play from scrimmage, and that one is out of the reach of the intended receiver, Ethan Gintz. It'll be 2nd and 10. We were just noticing, Mike, just both of these teams, in particular Hackleburg, they've had great field position.
Right.
They're not taking advantage of it. If you're a Panthers fan, you hope that doesn't come back to bite you later on.
Oh, absolutely, because they have, they started the game with some big running plays, got in Hubbard territory, and then stalled a little bit. And then the last couple of times, including this possession, they've started in really good field position and haven't been able to do anything with it so far. And you really don't like to see that if you're a head coach.
Again, the quarterback, Harper, takes it himself. He's got a first down and more as he's brought down near the 20-yard line. Actually, make that the 25-yard line, excuse me, as we watch it again.
He picks up his blocking very well right here, sees that outside open up and then close off, but makes a good cut upfield right there. Gets about 5 or 6 extra yards. Good field vision from Harper and a good decision running the football there.
T.J. Harris with a tackle, but not before another first. Actually, it's 3rd and 2. He only got 8 yards. He did not get quite enough for the first. Harper again, looks like he does get the first down this time as he bowls his way across the 30, or excuse me, the 25 down to about the 23. So it'll be first down Panthers, and they're wiping grass off their headsets, their helmets. Beautiful facility. Again, this is brand new, first year since the devastating tornado that Hackleburg has been able to play home games. We'll be talking about that as we go along.
Boy, can you imagine playing 35 straight games away from home?
That's what,
and
about
it's
3.5 years worth?
It's also a testament to the graciousness of the schools around here that allowed Hackleburg to use their facilities for home games. Of course, they weren't home games, but they allowed them to play their quote home games at their stadiums.
And there's a lot of communities in this part of the state that, of course, they play against each other a lot.
Yep.
I'm sure they would do the same. Hackleburg would do the same for them. That was Crow on that last carry. 2nd and 13. And again, once these two teams are picking up a couple of first down, everything seems to shut down offensively, and you're seeing it again here for Hackleburg.
Another good tackle by Justin Willingham there as he shot through and cut the legs out from under Matt Harper.
So another 3rd and long, 3rd and 14 this time. This drive started inside the 25. Actually, the set of downs started inside the 25. Now outside at the 27. Harper to throw. Goes deep. It is caught. Did he get in? I believe he's just short.
Just short, yep.
At about the 2-yard line as the catch made by Evan Crow, and it's a 1st and goal coming up for the Panthers.
Well, Evan Crow got over in that open area over there. The safety was not able to get across quick enough, and Crow made the catch, and they were able to keep him out of the end zone on that play, but not before a big gain.
Crow beating Brandon Hampton, the strong safety on that left side of the R.A. Hubbard defense. 1st and goal for the Panthers. Harper jumps to the line. Did he get in? Yes,
he did.
Touchdown. A 3-yard run for the quarterback, and it's 6-0 Hackleburg.
Well, Graham, you can really see the characteristics here of what Coach Hudson was talking about, how they like to do things like Auburn. You know, that was a very Nick Marshall type of run right there, and really a Nick Marshall type drive right there for Hackleburg.
So the extra point coming up. I believe that's Blake Norris getting ready to kick. He's a junior, and we've got another whistle that stops play.
And there's something interesting about the kicking game for Hackleburg that Coach Hudson told me. He said they go with the hot hand. You know, he said we started out the year, we weren't very good at our place kicking, and he said we've gotten a little better, but we've got 2 guys that go at it every week, and he said it may come down to Friday in pregame before we decide who's going to kick the extra point, and you see a miss there. So the kicking game, not a strong point. He said beginning of the year they were going for 2 just about every time they scored, but now they've started kicking it a little bit, and they try to go with the hot guy.
7-play drive, 65 yards for Hackleburg to take the 6-0 lead. I was about to mention that was a straight-on kick. We don't see that much anymore.
Don't see that very often.
Now, when you and I were playing back in the day, that's all you saw.
Well, I did it. You know, I was a straight-on kicker. Wore a kicking shoe.
One of those with the toes pointed up?
Yeah. You had a strap. You pulled the toe
I was going to say,
up.
did you use the strap or did you just...
I did use the strap.
Those were the days. You know, folks, when they hear us talk about that kind of stuff, they think, oh, those guys are old.
Well, hey,
I guess we are.
Terry Sanders was a straight-on kicker for Alabama, and a good one.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's all they had back then.
Yeah,
I mean, up until about...
Then those guys, you know, the Peter Kims and the Van Tiffins of the world started showing up, and soccer got bigger. And
Harper to kick at the 23. Davenport finds a little bit of a seam, and it's taken down across the 30 to about the 33, where the Chiefs will have it now trailing 6-0.
Ran into a black truck there. That was a big hit on that tackle.
Let me quickly give you the offensive linemen for R.A. Hubbard. Again, these are the probable linemen. These are the guys that we were given that would start. At center, you've got Justin Willingham. T.J. Harris is a tackle, as is Demontres Bean. The guards are Jeremy Steele and Russell Orr. And, of course, as you would expect in 1A football, a lot of these guys going two ways. And they do put Carter at quarterback, and he is promptly brought down.
Yes, he was. Very promptly. I believe that was
there's a flag
10.
now.
That was Ethan Gintz over there, the defensive end. He made a big hit. They're about the same size. You know, Ethan Gintz is a pretty good-sized kid himself, and that was pretty even. Let's see what this penalty is.
Just over a minute to play here in the first quarter. Looks like it's going against Hubbard.
I believe I saw the official read his lips, a block below the waist. Let's see if they take the penalty.
That's even worse. That's a chop block because that's 15 yards. So the Chiefs having problems on offense. They'll lose 15. They'll get to play the down again, but one of the few 15-yard penalties that remain in high school football.
Right.
They will replay the down. So 1st and 25 at the 19. Carter is the quarterback. Davis looks for somewhere to go and doesn't have too much running room. I believe that is Peyton Crow that made the tackle.
Peyton Crow, one of the few guys that starts for Hackleburg that doesn't play an offensive position as a starter. He is a linebacker. He wraps him up there, keeps hold of him until he gets a little help on the way.
2nd and 16. One back set. Wide outs either side. Looking for help. Nowhere to go. And down he goes.
Swinney with the quarterback sack.
I believe that was
Tanner Swinney.
Yep, Tanner Swinney.
Yeah. He's the best offensive lineman for Hackleburg, but he's also pretty good on the defensive line. Weighs about 240, moves very well.
Carter really didn't even, he barely got in the snap. But Swinney was back there, and that's the end of the first period. 6-0, Hackleburg on top.
Doing nice things for people and the cars they drive. Red Basil and Son. We gotta do it right, do what you expect. You gotta get the best service you can get. For over 40 years it's been our attitude, taking care of you. Doing nice things for people and the cars they drive. Red Basil and Son.
At
At Dentistry for Children, we love to make kids smile. Dr. Julia Schreiber and Dr. Benjamin Cumbus specialize in pediatric dentistry, treating infants, children, and patients with special needs. You can trust Dentistry for Children to provide the highest quality care for children of all ages. Beautiful smiles begin at Dentistry for Children. Call today to make your appointment with our professional caring staff. Dentistry for Children in Montgomery and Wetumpka, proudly making kids smile for over 30 years.
A famous man once said there are some things you should never see being made, but you should see how they've been making sausage for generations down in Autauga County. And there's a beautiful bike path which trails through East Alabama, so get in gear and come along for that ride. And while they're cutting new trails through Calhoun County, we're tearing down a few barns in Blount County and making something else, new and beautiful and absolutely Alabama.
Everyone from Huntsville knows that if you've been hurt in a car wreck, you call my attorney, Alexander Shannara.
You know who to call if you've been in an auto accident. Your attorney, Alexander Shannara.
In Athens, we all know that if you've been in a car wreck, you call Alexander Shannara.
If you've been hurt in a car wreck, you know who to call. Call me, Alexander Shannara. Remember, Huntsville, I am your attorney.
You know who to call. Your attorney, Alexander Shannara.
First half dominated by the Panthers of Hackleburg. They've got a 6-0 lead. It could have been worse.
It could have been, because minus 6 yards of offense for R.A. Hubbard and, let's see, 150 yards of offense, or 15 of 17 plays for Hackleburg have been on the plus side of the field and sometimes deep on the plus side of the field against R.A. Hubbard. So there's a decent play right there. Got a gap of that yardage back, but it's still going to be fourth and a long, long way.
Yeah, they needed 30 yards. They got, well, a little bit less than half of it. So another punting situation, third time already. The Chiefs have punted in this first half. Jordan Johnson, and they have to run another player out. In this case, it is Carter. Again, a very short kick. Takes a Chiefs roll out of bounds at about the 42-yard line, where Hackleburg will have it 1st and 10. Coach Ron Hudson, sixth year.
Sixth year. Yeah.
He is, I believe, an alum of this school.
I think so. We didn't talk a whole lot about his background, but you know, what a great guy to talk to. Loves these kids, loves this town, loves this school, and he is the right guy for Hackleburg, that's for sure.
They'll throw the quick outlet pass, room to run, and a first down inside the 30 down to the 25.
Graham, I think that's going to go as a running play. You know, if I were doing stats, I believe I'd have to count that as a running play and add that to the rushing yardage for Christian Jones, because that pass was backward. If you're going to see here, well, you can't see where he caught the ball, but it was definitely behind the line of scrimmage.
And he basically had one guy to beat there, and he's got clear sailing to the end zone. We've got a timeout taken by Hubbard.
Just before the snap.
And it comes with 10:47 to play in the first half. And a second time tonight, the Chiefs have called a timeout while on defense.
Well, the first time, it made a big difference because they absolutely stuffed the next 3 plays that Hackleburg ran. But we'll see if it has the same effect this time. Hackleburg is gouging the defense at times for some big plays.
The Panthers coming in 7-1. In fact, they've won 7 straight.
Won 7 straight and have been impressive in those 7 wins. Now, Phillips of Bear Creek is also 7-1 this season. Their only loss came to Hackleburg. Hackleburg put up 58 points in that game. Won that game 58-34. And Phillips defeated this R.A. Hubbard team, which throws, you know, that kink in there with all these tiebreakers and all that kind of thing. So that's what makes this game for the region title tonight.
Yeah, bottom line is the head-to-head's going to come into play, even though those 3 teams will have the same record.
And that one loss for Hackleburg came to Marion County, opening game of the year, 13-12 in overtime.
In fact, they lost, it's listed on their schedule as a loss, but it was a jamboree game. As they'll throw one deep and out of the reach.
Actually, that was against Hubbardville, that very
Right.
first one. They actually lost their first two contests. A jamboree against Hubbardville and then their first regular season game against Marion County. And Coach Hudson told me, he said, look, he said, those two games I wasn't very happy with our defense at all. He said, we didn't tackle well, we didn't finish tackles, we weren't very aggressive, and he said, we seem to have fixed that and improved every week.
The diamond set on the left side. Instead, it's Harper breaks a couple of tackles inside the 15, inside the 10, and a first down for the Panthers.
Classic example of keeping your feet moving now. Is that a flag on the play right there, or is that just a pink towel that came off a player?
Yeah, that would be pink.
Yeah,
so I'm going to guess that's not a flag.
Now, I will tell you, this month I have seen some officials using pink flags. So that's why I was wondering if that was a flag on the play.
Another great run, though, by Harper.
Oh, absolutely. A classic example of a guy keeping his feet moving and not giving up on the play. He could have given up and gone down right there, but he refused. And the result was almost a touchdown.
Big hole, touchdown. Christian Jones, 9 yards out, 12-0 Hackleburg.
Very nice cutback right there, about the 5-yard line. He got the defensive flow going to the right, and he just stopped on a dime, cut it straight up the field, got into the end zone.
Good blocking also on that
Watch
right
that
side.
cut right there.
Yep.
And he gets inside the defenders and gets pay dirt.
We'll see if they go for two, or looks like they're going to call a timeout to
They
decide.
are going for two, but I tell you, Coach Hudson's not real happy right now because somebody aligned wrong or didn't get in the right place, and he is not a very happy camper right now.
Or it may have been they had too many men out there,
Could
or
be.
had the
Could
wrong
be.
substitution.
The wrong personnel for that particular play.
But it looks like they will try the two-point conversion with just over 10 minutes to play. Again, Hackleburg, just to kind of tell you where we are tonight, which is north of the Hamilton, just south of Tuscumbia, Florence, right on the Mississippi line.
Yep. If you've ever taken a trip to Memphis or Tupelo, you've probably come right very near here, out of Birmingham. If you're coming out of Alabama going up toward Memphis, this is probably the route you're going to take. I know I told you on the way up here, I used to duck hunt quite a bit in Arkansas, and I would go to Memphis to go over to the Little Rock area, and I came very near here a lot of times, but I've never been to Hackleburg until tonight.
A beautiful area, beautiful community.
I have been by a couple of times Phillips High School in Bear Creek. They got a beautiful place over there where it sits, and I remembered that, but I've never been to Hackleburg.
Two-point try, perfect. Wide open. Cassidy Williams.
I think he was lined up in a slot over there, or an H-back position, and he just kind of slipped out, got all by himself in the end zone for the two-point play.
So 14-0. With 10-12 left to play. We'll be back. Stay tuned.
"44 years and growing. ERA King is the exception to the rule. We actually grew during the recent recession. How was this possible? My dad had a simple explanation. Just do the right thing. We're ERA King Real Estate.
Let's face it, your business needs to keep track of the present while focusing on the future. Broadview Media is your partner in getting that done. We have years of experience in video production, helping businesses like yours shape their image. High-def video, satellite uplink, and meeting here is like having a global branch office by using our video conferencing. Whether it's a studio production or on location, Broadview Media can help keep your business in focus. To learn more, call or click today. Are you ready to see more?
Bell's Transmission is a trusted name in the River region for automotive repairs. At Bell's Transmission, we don't just work on transmissions. We can handle all jobs, large or small, from complete engine overhauls to oil changes and tires. With a large state-of-the-art facility, we have the know-how and the technology to handle any automotive repair, and we stand behind our work with a warranty on all jobs. Plus, we will beat anyone's price. So for quality automotive work at the best price, trust Bell's Transmission in Montgomery.
Last year, I challenged our relocation team to be even better. Their response was, "It will cost you your 42-year-old mustache." Today, we're the only platinum-recognized Cardis USA broker in the state of Alabama. I sure miss that mustache.
Well, we're going to do this one more time in the regular season. Next Thursday, 7 o'clock. It's Maddie, or MT Blunt as we call them, taking on Saraland on Thursday Night Touchdowns. Again, another big game in the region. 9 teams. That's why next week's game counts.
Exactly.
9 teams in the region.
9 teams in the region. But I tell you, you know the other thing, Graham, we started this Thursday Night Touchdowns on the top side of Alabama in Huntsville, Alabama. We're going to finish it at the very bottom of the state down by Mobile.
That's right.
So we have covered the state of Alabama this year.
As those we like to call it in L.A. As
L.A.
in lower
That's the
Alabama.
That's lowest Alabama.
That's right. By the way, you can watch the game whether you're watching it on air, online, on your mobile phone. You can go to pathtotheplayoffs.com for details. 14-0 our score, and that kick is going to go out of bounds. They're just going after the players with these kicks tonight.
They are. I tell you, if you're wearing a white jersey on the sidelines over there, you might want to cover up. Keep your helmet on over there because it's getting dangerous.
So that kick went out of bounds around the 32.
Are they going to make them kick it again, or are they going to? I believe they are.
So this kick will take place at the 35.
I guess when you got playmakers like R.A. Hubbard does, you'd rather them kick the ball to you and get a chance for a return.
Back deep for Hubbard is Jordan Johnson.
It's one thing Coach Hudson told me. He said they've got guys all over the field that can take it to the house at any time, and he said we've got to be on our guard. His quote was, "Our special teams have to be special."
Harper's kick down to the 25. Carter. Ooh. He gets to the 40. Let's see what Christina Chambers has found.
Well, guys, when the tornado destroyed this football stadium, the school wanted to do something to try and incorporate the old stadium with the new. When they rebuilt this stadium, they preserved the bleachers from the old stadium and put them right here in the new. Hackleburg had an alumni event, and the former players commented on how much they loved having that tradition back here in the new stadium. When they decided to rebuild, they kept the same field that they've had in the same spot since 1953. And like I said, those players just love the fact that that tradition is still here.
And there's something to be said for having a part of the old.
Absolutely.
And you know, I'm not one that believes in ghosts or anything like that, but you know what? It's kind of nice to know that, especially as a fan, or maybe you're an alumnus or somebody, that you sit in these stands here at Hackleburg and you know this is what was part of the old stadium.
And I was noticing, you know, we talked about it a little bit before the game when we were walking up the steps. I was looking around and I was like, you know, this is a brand new stadium, but these bleachers aren't brand new. These are here from the old stadium. And that's kind of cool to have that preserved and be able to use those in this brand new place. But you still got that tradition there. Even the paw prints that are painted are preserved from the old stadium.
Boy, the Chiefs just trying to get something going offensively.
I'll tell you what.
KJ Davis nowhere to go. Gang tackled after about a yard gain.
I'll tell you, Rod Hudson was correct in what he told me about his team on defense. He said they attack the line of scrimmage and they try to control it. He said we're an attacking defense. We try to dictate the tempo from the defensive side of the ball, and so far they're doing that.
So 3rd and 8. And off again, Davis. This time he's got a seam. First down and more inside the 45 down to the 41. And a tackle made by, I believe that was Harper.
That was Matt Harper. Yeah, he plays free safety on defense. He was the last line right there. If he don't make that tackle, that's a touchdown. But they caught Hackleburg in a blitz right there, and some of the couple of linebackers ran by KJ and allowed him to get out of the backfield right there.
And I look at my statistician. I believe the first time they've been over the 50-yard line. That is correct. First down, nothing. Nowhere to go.
Austin Hill and Brandon Rivas there on the tackles.
That was Davis again with a carry.
Funny thing about Hackleburg, in a school this size, they have 2 kids by the name of Austin Hill. One of them wears number 51. One of them wears number 52. So
That helps guys out like us.
Yeah,
you know. You get a nomenclature wrong, and everything happens for a reason, right?
That's right. That's right.
2nd and 10. Carter will take it himself. Tries to get outside and can't do it. He does get about 3 before he's rolled down. I'm not so sure there, Mike. If he keeps going and try to get the corner, he might have got it.
He might have got it. I mean, you know, the reason he got as far as he did right there is because he made a great stiff arm on the first guy that came up and tried to tackle him. See who that was. That's number 16. A good stiff arm right in the top of the helmet. But he wasn't going to get away from Mr. Gintz there.
And that was Crow that was the beneficiary of that stiff arm. So 3rd and 6 inside Hackleburg territory at about the 37. Clock is running. 7:19 and counting. They'll throw it deep. Carter got a man downfield. Caught. Touchdown. I believe that's Davis with a catch, 37 yards.
It is, and I think what happened, Graham, there, I think the defensive backs just kind of lost track of the football. I think they were looking more at KJ than they were the football, and he slipped behind them and made the catch.
How do you like the throw? Looked like he kind of threw it off his back foot. Watch it again.
He did. He kind of steps around and just kind of gets back on his back foot, lays it up, but it was perfectly thrown. And I think Hackleburg's defensive backs just kind of lost track of where the ball was. It took so long for the play to develop. He had plenty of time to throw the football.
Texas Shelby will kick. Another straight-on kicker. And this one, I believe, went right through the uprights.
It did.
And it's 14-7 with 7:12 to play here in the first half. Well, there's an answer for the Chiefs of R.A. Hubbard. And I think you're right on that last touchdown, on the touchdown, Mike. I don't know if they were playing up, looking to run in it. For a second there, it looked like Carter may take off.
It did. You know, he kind of dropped his hands and looked like he sort of made a move like he was going to take off with the football. And I don't know if that froze the defensive backs for a second or what, but next thing you know, the ball's laying up in the air, and it stayed in the air a little while. Had some hang time under it, but they were able to complete that for a touchdown. I think the defensive backs just kind of maybe got distracted a little bit there.
So the lead cut in half.
There's a young man that'll probably be on this field in a few years.
That's what is so wonderful to me about small communities, especially in the South. And it's not that the world necessarily revolves around your high school football team, but it plays a role, plays a huge role. And that's why, as we look across the visitors' side over there, you can't see it, it's too dark, but they're finishing up the new school building as the kick taken at about the 15, and down quickly is Harper. It'll be first down for the Panthers, but they built this field first.
Right.
As almost a rally cry after that tornado a few years ago.
Well, Coach Hudson talked to me about that. You know, I just told him, and there's the new school. He said hopefully they're going to be in there around December, maybe first of the year, definitely after the holidays they'll be in the school building, and it's going to be a beautiful school. But he told me, he said it was big for us to get our home field back. You know, he said after 35 games away from here, it was big to finally get back home. He said football is big in this town. It always has been, and we need it. And he said it has been a rallying point for this town.
Jones with a nice run, first down, as he'll get across, actually get up close to the 40.
We got to start keeping track a little bit here. We'll get our statistician Ken to help us out here. He's that was a 13-yard run, but he needed 111 yards to break 1,000. We need to keep track of him here and see if he's able to break that tonight during this ball game.
Well, it may come down to your judgment on that backwards pass.
I definitely, you know, if I'm doing stats, that's a running play, and he gets credit for that. So in my book, you know, that had to be a running play.
15 yards will be tacked on after the face mask called against R.A. Hubbard. That'll bring it across midfield to about the 48, 47-yard line. So first down in Chiefs territory.
And guess what? They're across the 50 again.
Yeah, they are.
In positive territory.
What is it my old buddy Roger Schultz said about Alabama and Tennessee? Of course, it's appropriate to say it. He said they should make us pay rent at Neyland Stadium. Maybe I know this is their own field, but Hackleburg has been on this side of the 50 most of the night. Nothing doing on 1st and 10. That was 54. Jeremy Steele with a tackle.
Boy, somebody got hold of the quarterback there. Harper. And he couldn't get that foot away from him, and then he took a couple of shots while he was stood up there. Got about a yard on the play, maybe?
I think they were generous, yeah. 2nd and 9. Clock is running. Just over 6 minutes to go. 14-7. Again, the winner of this one wins 1A Region 8. Pass to the flat again. I think that was forward.
That one was. You're right.
And it'll be a minimal gain.
And a lot of work right there by Christian Jones to get that minimal gain. He took on a couple of big hits right there in order to get the couple of yards that he did get.
Well, you figured R.A. Hubbard, and that's something that Coach Hudson talked about, is how quick and how well they play in space this Chiefs team does, as it was Carter and Steele who eventually made the tackle. So 3rd and 7. Ball at the 45. One back set. 3 wide outs, and somebody jumped off sides, and the Chiefs just hand over 5 yards.
As a linebacker, he was coming on a blitz right there. They were bringing him quick, and he tried to jump the snap count right there, and instead jumped offside.
So instead of 3rd and 7, it'll be 3rd and 2. And those kind of penalties sometimes are the difference between finishing 1st and finishing 3rd, which is what will happen if Hubbard does not win tonight. They will fall all the way to 3rd place. Johnson, 1st down. Gets to the 35. Knocked down by Tony Harris, TJ Harris as he goes. Well, Jones continues to, well, he's getting close to that.
He's
100-yard mark.
Marching toward that 100-yard mark. But I tell you what, you got to love the way he runs the football. He gets his shoulder square to the line of scrimmage as fast as he can. And just like Coach Hudson said, he starts running downhill as fast as he can. And that's a good trait to have as a back.
Keeper this time by Harper. And that'll pick up a couple. Justin Willingham stuck his nose in there, as well as Tombo Johnson. His name is Tomalaski. I asked Coach Vincent, I said, surely a guy named like that, he's got to have a nickname, right? Oh, yeah, we call him Tombo. So why not? He is the defensive end on the far side. 2nd and 8.
I probably would have called him Tamale.
Yeah, you would do that to him. That's real sweet.
Knowing me and the way I make up names, you know, I probably would have made up something like Tamale.
Yes, you are pretty good at that. We don't need to go there. Cassidy Williams getting to the 30, and there's a flag down.
Yeah, back in the day when I coached, don't ask some of my kids what names I made up.
No, we don't need to know. This is a family show.
I tell you what I'm proud of, though, Graham. I got a couple of guys who are in coaching in Alabama now that I was fortunate enough to coach. The head coach down at Bullock County, Marte Wyckoff, he's in his 1st year down at Bullock County. Played for me over at Horseshoe Bend, and another guy that's an assistant coach at Sachs, Jarrell Burns, played for me at Horseshoe Bend. Those 2 guys teammates at Horseshoe Bend, both of them now in coaching, both of them doing a great job for their prospective schools.
And they owe it all to you, right?
No, not to me at all. I'm going to give Bobby Reynolds all the credit for that.
I understand.
And, of course, now Marte did transfer and ended up playing for Steve Savarese at Benjamin Russell his final year or 2, so he got a little of that coaching as well.
Jones tries to get it outside and does. And he'll pick up a couple more inside the 20. Got about 6. By the way, that flag was a face mask. That's what gave Hackleburg the 1st down.
I probably taught those guys more of what not to do than what to do.
I would imagine. Timeout on the field. It's taken by R.A. Hubbard, and that is their last timeout of the 1st half. And it comes with 3:33 left to play in the 1st half. So let's take a timeout. 14-7, Panthers on top. We'll be back.
Derek, what's with the scrubs?
Shh. She's going for it. It's gonna work. She's going for the burger.
Stand back, everyone. I'm a doctor. Look, I got it. I got it.
Jack, 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 for more.
I'm Diane Bentley, Alabama's First Lady. Over 15 million children are exposed to domestic violence each year, and 10% of high school students are victims of dating abuse. Whether you are experiencing abuse or you think you know someone who is, it's time to speak out. The Alabama Coalition Against Domestic Violence can answer questions about safe dating behavior, as well as provide shelter to those fleeing violent homes. Call 1-800-650-6522 for help and a way out.
Hard work, determination, teamwork. It can mean the difference between winning and losing. These are values that I teach my sons and players on the football field, and they are values we believe in at Wedemark & Key. If you have been hurt, put my firm's hard work, determination, and legal team to work for you.
Wedemark Key, because your case matters. Call 800-309-0500.
Children's of Alabama has been taking care of kids across our state for over 100 years. The opening of the Benjamin Russell Hospital for Children allows even more patient care. It leads the country in technology and innovation, including 17 state-of-the-art operating rooms, an expanded imaging center, and the Bruno Pediatric Heart Center, just to name a few. Children provides the highest level of care in a loving, comforting environment. I hope that you or anyone in your family never needs to be a patient, but if they do, Children's is here for you.
Welcome back to Ray Stadium. The homestanding Panthers of Hackleburg on top by 7, trying to add to it. They've got a 2nd and 5. As another good run by Jones, and it looked like he got close to a first down, and it looks like enough. We checked his numbers there at the break. Looks like he's got about 55, 56 yards, and you can add about 6 more.
Yep, add about 6 more to that, so he's probably up in the 60s now. But Graham, the interesting thing of this game, Hackleburg has run 29 plays on offense. Only 3 of those have not been on the plus side of the field.
That's amazing.
That is amazing. 64 yards now on the 1,000-yard tracker for Christian Jones.
We could get one of those bars down here on the
he needed 111 to get 1,000 yards.
Clock moving, 3:05 left. Harper keeps it himself. Flag comes in.
Ooh, bunch of flags.
And I got a feeling that might be a hold or an illegal block. He picked up a couple.
Yep.
And it will be holding against Hackleburg. That's one of the few penalties they've had.
Good call
in this first half.
Good call.
You know, what am I batting this year? About 100 on those?
You might be.
Oh, he told me 200.
You might be at the Mendoza line, you know.
2nd penalty of the night, by the way. I didn't think he was keeping up with those. I'm like, come on. I know he's a great statistician, but don't make me look bad. 1st and 20 at the 23. There goes Jones again, and he'll get back a lot of that penalty yardage.
He got almost all of the penalty yardage back.
So his tally continues to rise. And I wouldn't be surprised if Coach Hudson here is going to use every bit of that clock, or at least as much as he can, and get what points he can here, as we're under 2.5 to play.
You know, the interesting thing about Christian Jones is that he's obviously a pretty tough kid.
Yeah, and he's showing it there. A flag does come in. He also drops the football. It's in the end zone. And I believe it was recovered by Hackleburg, but I have a feeling this one will be returned back. The recovery.
I believe it's going to be another holding call, and I believe
that was JoJo Gilliland that jumped on it in the end zone, but unfortunately for him, it's going to come back, and you see the call.
It's an illegal block. It's not holding, and I believe Court Stidham was the guy who was the one caught because the flag almost hit him right there where he was working on the offense. Right there you see, no, you're not going to see it in the edge of your screen. It's back out of the camera view.
It was actually a 2nd flag that was thrown a little further downfield. Clock is now running. As I move the ball back to the 23.
But what I was saying about Jones, he missed all but 3 games last year, broke his collarbone, came back, broke his collarbone again. So, you know, that was a tough set of circumstances for
him. Throwing it into the end zone, knocked away. And let me check. I know the play was intended, the pass intended for Crow.
DeAndre Johnson, I believe, was the guy who got there, Graham, and knocked the ball away. He actually got a little bit lucky right there, I believe, because he wasn't really going for the football. He was going more for the hit, but they arrived at the same time, so it was not interference.
Yep, Jordan Johnson leads Hubbard in interception. He has 8. I asked Coach Vincent, I said, it sounded like that's about 1 a game. He said, well, he got a lot of those early in the season, and teams quit throwing to his side, as you would expect. 3rd and about 17. They'll throw it to the end zone again. This one underthrown and nearly caught.
Oh, that thing got batted around down there.
Yeah.
Looked like a pinball for a minute.
Williams came back for the ball and almost made a circus catch. So it'll be 4th down. And I have a feeling this is too far for a field goal try, so they'll probably try to throw one into the end zone again for the 3rd straight play.
Well, you're not giving up a whole lot. If you give it over on downs here on an incomplete pass, you've still got them on the negative side of the field. So,
which is pretty much where Hubbard has lived all first half. They can get a first down. Throw it over the middle. It is complete. But I don't think he's got, yep, you're right. I was just about to say
he's
maybe
not down yet. They finally blew the whistle. He never went down, but they're going to stop him really about the, I don't know, about the 4-yard line maybe. And it's going to go over on downs.
He's got to miss the first down by about a yard.
That was a great pass right there to Evan Crow. He's wide open over the middle, and he just couldn't get quite enough away from the defense. You got to give credit. Who is that right there? I didn't see his
That is Johnson and Davenport.
That number 2 there, Jordan Johnson, the guy you were just talking about with all the interceptions. He made a wall right about the 5-yard line and would not let him get the yardage he needed for the first down. But it pins R.A. Hubbard deep in a hole.
And I believe they've got the full complement of their timeouts, and that ball's on the ground.
And he barely got out of the end zone. You got to give a testament to the strength right there of Mr. Carter to get out of the end zone and get something positive on that.
That could have been a disaster.
That was almost a disaster. They hit him right there in the end zone, and he just drives himself forward, and his strength got him out of the end zone and avoided a safety.
And Hackleburg does take a timeout. I figured they're going to try to make Hubbard punt out of their own end zone.
And, you know, and we've already talked about it. They've gotten close to the punter on every single punt that Hubbard has had tonight. And if they can pin them back there and make them punt out of the end zone, they may bring an all-out block and try to get some points out of that.
Well, right now you won't get the, what is it normally, about a 12, 14-yard distance.
Right. It'd be a tight punt anyway.
Yeah, so they only have 1 timeout remaining, does Hackleburg. But if they do this right, they can still force the punt. The Panthers scoring the first 2 touchdowns of the night. Again, they have lived on the Hubbard side of the 50.
Absolutely.
Yeah. The Chiefs touchdown coming on a long pass by Carter. And the clock at 1:02. Carter again from the shotgun. And we get a whistle and a flag.
And a flag. Let's see.
They won't move it far, whatever they move it, unless this goes against Hackleburg.
I don't know if it's an illegal formation or if it's on the defense. Let's see. Was there somebody lined up in the neutral zone?
Nope.
Nope. It's going to go on the offense, so it's going to back them up even closer.
So that'll be a half the distance penalty. The ball was at the 4, now it'll be at the 2. A lot of mistakes by Hubbard in this first half. I imagine you'll see the quarterback. Well, he will hand off. Davis. Oh. He's got a seam. Cross the 15, down to the 20. First down.
Well, that's a big play for Hubbard right there. A big, big play.
Cole Rivas made the stop. If he's not there, he may still be running.
Watch the hole open up here. He's going to make that cut right there. Gets between the 2 defenders. And if not for, you know, in the old days when you and I played, he'd still be running because that jersey would have given way.
The old tearaways. Davis again. This time he's going to get another first down, and I believe he got out of bounds right at the 30-yard line. 45 seconds left. And I don't know that the Chiefs are going to try too much here, but well, a couple more runs like this.
Oh yeah,
who knows?
Eating up some yardage right now for sure.
So we went from talking about Hackleburg trying to block a punt to just holding on for dear life. Davis again. This time he stacked up the line of scrimmage. He did not get the first down.
So it's going to be fourth. No, just third. I'm sorry.
Ball at the 30. They'll need the 31. Carter with a power eye, and he takes it himself. And he'll have the first down and still running up close to the 40. But now he's running out of time as just over 13 seconds remain. And I doubt you'll see Coach Vincent do anything special here. In fact, they might not even run another play. We'll see. Maybe one more. But they have moved out of the shadow of their end zone up to the 39-yard line, and you got to give them credit for that.
Absolutely. Yeah, you know, a couple of big runs got him out here.
And somebody took off early.
Yeah, the wide receiver over there, that's Jordan. He looked like a Canadian Football League player over there. Got a good running start.
Got a head start. That's Jordan Johnson. So it'll be 2nd and 15. But this, actually, I don't even think they've got time to run a play because they will restart the clock. There's been some rule changes not only in high school but in college football concerning the clock and penalties and you know, can you down the ball? You can't even down the ball, and that will be probably the final play. We'll see if they can get it off. They'll wind it. They do get it off, and they'll just chunk one over the middle complete. Davis across the midfield stripe, but that'll be it. A 14-7 lead. Hackleburg over R.A. Hubbard. The Panthers and the Chiefs trying to decide Region 8 in Class 1A. And once again, it's the running game that was very good for the Panthers. Stay tuned. We'll be back.
The warrior spirit, it's in there. Always has been. Now let it out and take the world by fire. Train well and learn what it means to be a Troy Trojan. Walk with confidence. Conquer, claim territory, and climb ladders. Discover your inner warrior. Succeed in business with a degree from Troy University. For details, visit troy.edu/spirit.
Meet Pete and Paul. Twins so much alike, friends call them Pete and Repeat. But Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Alabama treats them as individuals. Each gets a health insurance plan designed to meet his specific needs. One is a self-employed entrepreneur, the other working for a large company. After all, no two customers are alike, especially in Alabama. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Alabama. We cover what matters. Find out how we can cover you.
When your cable company, overnight, expands the number of high-definition channels to over 200, the most available anywhere, and allows you to look at the world with such stunning, incredible, unimaginable clarity, you will see the details, inside the details, inside the details. And the way you see TV will be changed forever. Charter Spectrum TV is here, starting at $29.99 per month.
Everyone from Huntsville knows that if you've been hurt in a car wreck, you call my attorney, Alexander Shannara.
You know who to call if you've been in an auto accident. Your attorney, Alexander Shannara.
In Athens, we all know that if you've been in a car wreck, you call Alexander Shannara.
If you've been hurt in a car wreck, you know who to call. Call me, Alexander Shannara. Remember, Huntsville, I am your attorney.
You know who to call. Your attorney, Alexander Shannara.
Welcome back to Hackleburg, Alabama, inside Ray Stadium, where the Panthers lead R.A. Hubbard 14-7. On April 27th, 2011, an EF5 tornado ripped through this city, killing 72 people and causing more than $1.3 billion in damages. Since then, this community has rallied back, and they've rallied back, and they've totally overcome that devastation since 2011.
Now, we're going to stay with this as long as we keep power.
That's the tornado. I don't know if you see my live video. The tornado is now crossing the river.
This is not good.
Oh my God.
Hey, run up to that hole! Give him the big shoulder! There's a whole roof that just came off.
I'm going to call
911.
Oh my God.
Get to your safe place immediately.
It's something I hope I never.
And then it was over and there was nothing here.
On a blustery spring day in late April 2011, near the town of Hackleburg, Alabama, stood VF Corporation's Wrangler Distribution Center. It was business as usual at the facility that day. Some associates were finishing up work while others were getting ready for the second shift. Then nature's fury struck in the form of an F5 tornado.
I'll never forget, as long as I have my reasoning, the look on so many faces as they looked at the rubble and the ruin all around them. You could see the hurt, the horror in their eyes, and it was a very moving sight.
Michelle Brown, Claudia Mojica, Edgar Mojica,
Bridget Barnwell Brisbos,
John Lynch, Virginia Revis, Jack Tennanoff,
Alan Mark Weidman, Jeanette Cochran Weidman, C.D. Wallard, and our own Linda Faye Knight.
Out of loss came hope, and out of hope came renewal.
VF made a commitment to rebuild a facility and rebuild a facility for their employees to work in, but it was so extremely important because VF not only made that commitment, but they made a commitment to rebuild a community. Because without Wrangler Distribution in Hackleburg, this would have a hard time economically surviving.
VF promised associates and the community that they would rebuild. VF is a company that prides itself on doing business the right way, and most importantly, doing right by its associates. These values, combined with the passion and dedication of our associates there, fueled the company's decision to remain in Hackleburg.
VF has been wonderful to us. I mean, you know, we never missed a paycheck. They took care of us. The associates from the other facilities, money, clothes, everything that anybody could have ever needed, they saw to it that we had.
This facility means a lot to this community. This isn't a particularly large community, and this facility provides a lot of jobs, and secondary, the money flows back into the community too. And when I was talking to Governor Bentley about why we should rebuild here, that's the point he made so clear to me, is that in towns like Hackleburg and counties like Marion, Alabama, facilities like this make all the difference in the world to the lifeblood in the community, to the schools, to the churches, to everything.
Throughout the 2-year rebuilding process, VF temporarily relocated the Hackleburg operations to Holly Pond, Alabama. 75% of associates chose to stay with VF despite long commutes to the temporary distribution center. Even in the midst of their own personal hardships, they traveled nearly 4 hours round trip, more than 300,000 miles in 2 years, to VF's temporary distribution center. During this time, business operations continued, and the Hackleburg team didn't miss a beat. In true Wrangler spirit, Hackleburg associates worked hard and persevered in the face of a devastating, life-changing event.
I want to thank the 151 people that work here in Alabama, work for VF. Y'all are special. We're going to change the subject real quick. Special, I think the world of you and love you.
The last 2 years, I spend a lot of time visiting different VF facilities and spending a lot of time with different VF folks from around the world, You know, Eric and myself spend time at all of our facilities, our field offices, with our associates in the United States, with our associates in South America, Europe, wherever it may be. And the one thing that's been a common thread for me for the last 2 years is everyone has asked about you folks. How are we doing? How are the associates doing? How are they holding up? How are their families? It's amazing to me the power and the spirit that has come from all of our associates that have cared greatly and deeply about you and your families and how you've done. And I wanted to pass along to you so that you knew that you had 55,000 people out there rooting for you this whole time.
Our employees have been through so much, from traveling 2 hours to work, 2 hours home each and every day, working 12-hour days, being away from their families. But along the way, there have been many rewarding experiences as well. We've got to know each other a little bit better over the past 2 years. We work together as a team, and we're here to shape a one VF, one team, working together, striving to be the best.
Two years later, VF in Hackleburg has returned home and is shipping jeans again. The new facility is state-of-the-art and truly a testament to the unparalleled dedication of the associates. The new expanded distribution center is also bringing even more jobs to the community.
1, 2, 3.
While the company celebrates a new beginning in Hackleburg, they remember family members, friends, and especially the VF associate who lost her life during the tornado. VF is a family, and there is no place that is more evident than in Hackleburg.
We really got to know each other and to basically love each other. You just don't know how things are going to affect you until after it does. Sometimes you don't take time to know somebody's name or know what their likes are or anything, and you know, we basically all know each other now. I think it gave other people and other businesses say, hey, since VF is rebuilding, let's consider rebuilding.
We chose to rebuild here because of these people. They've been great VF associates. I just met a bunch that have been here for 20 years, and they care deeply about the success of the company and about the people who work here. So how could you not give them a place to come back to work?
We've had a lot of new companies that have come to Alabama since my administration began. But I can tell you that there is not an expansion or a new plant that I am prouder of than this one right here. It doesn't just mean a job, it means a way of life. It's so important to me that your way of life was continued, and actually it's even now going to be better.
Today was a real great example of the power of One VF and how special our associates are, and I just think it speaks to the real class and character of the organization that we work for.
This Hackleburg community has definitely come back stronger. I'm here with Principal of Hackleburg High School, John Harden. Just talk about the rebuilding process these past 3 years.
It's been, you know, it's been a good thing. Actually, we were, if you see our building, you know how nice it is. Of course, you always want it to be quicker. We've learned patience, and getting to see our new building come up has been really a great thing for us.
First football season to play at home. How does that feel?
It's been fabulous. It's been not only good for us and our kids, it's been great for our community. Our first game we had here, it's just an unreal atmosphere, and it's carried over for the rest of the game. So it's kind of felt like we're getting back to where we were, and it's, you know, our football and our school is a big part of this community. So it was a good thing when we got to play our home games here.
A big emphasis was to rebuild this stadium first. Why did you guys decide to do that?
Because football is sports in general, football is such a big thing for the community. It's something our community backs us, our school and all, but it was a big thing for them to come out and watch our kids play and get back to a normal routine, and so it was huge for us.
Also joining us is Superintendent Ryan Hollingsworth. You look behind the visitor side and you see the brand new school. When do you guys get to move in?
We hope around Christmas. The roof is not completely on yet, so it'll probably be a little bit after Christmas, but a lot of excitement in the community about moving in, obviously.
How do you think your students are going to react when you open those doors and they actually get to be inside a building for the first time in 3 years since they've been in mobile units?
We talked about that the other day. Me and the facility manager stood out front and looked at the two-story building and just thought, what's it going to be like for a kindergarten student to stand out front and walk in for the first time? So amazed, I guess.
A big Christmas present for you guys?
You bet, exactly, that's right.
A big emphasis for you guys is also to build storm shelters, not only for the school, but also the community.
Yes, we're in temporary classrooms over here behind the football field now to the east, and we actually have constructed a storm shelter there because as you looked around after the storm, there was not a structure in town in case we had severe weather for us to go. So we had to build one freestanding, and it's still, we're using it now. So.
Well, it's definitely amazing to see all of this come about, and especially the school right behind you being built. We're going to have more from Hackleburg right here after this. They made me toss the brake. Hold on.
2/3 of drivers who died in car crashes chose to ignore this warning. Seatbelts save lives. Drive safe, Alabama. A message from your Alabama Department of Transportation. So you got caught speeding, but this time you got more than a ticket.
What are you in for?
Vehicular homicide.
Stop speeding before speeding stops you. Drive safe, Alabama. A message from your Alabama Department of Transportation.
I'm Diane Bentley, Alabama's First Lady. Over 15 million children are exposed to domestic violence each year, and 10% of high school students are victims of dating abuse. Whether you are experiencing abuse or you think you know someone who is, it's time to speak out. The Alabama Coalition Against Domestic Violence can answer questions about safe dating behavior, as well as provide shelter to those fleeing violent homes. Call 1-800-650-6522 for help and a way out.
A famous man once said there are some things you should never see being made, but you should see how they've been making sausage for generations down in Autauga County. And there's a beautiful bike path which trails through East Alabama, so get in gear and come along for that ride. And while they're cutting new trails through Calhoun County, we're tearing down a few barns in Blount County and making something else, new and beautiful and absolutely Alabama.
I got a call from Ashley, one of my customers, because
it looks like there's been some sort of explosion.
There is soot everywhere, all over this house, and she finds something very strange.
Someone's been here.
Call 911. I'll be right there.
I came home.
It turns out someone tried to break into her house, and they got stuck in the chimney. Ashley was covered for the damage to the chimney and the cleanup.
For service and savings, call Alpha.
Welcome back to Hackleburg, Alabama, where the Panthers lead it 14-7. I'm here with Steve Savarese with the Alabama High School Athletic Association. You witnessed firsthand the devastation in 2011. This is your first time being back on campus. What are your thoughts that go through your head when you see the state-of-the-art facility behind you?
Well, it's the opposite end of the spectrum of when I came here the first time, because I was in awe. I've never seen damage. Lived through Hurricane Katrina, Opal, Ivan, and there was a lot of devastation along the coast at that time, but I've never seen something like here. And then to go through this and see the facilities, I still have pictures of the building that had collapsed. Thank God that Mr. Hollingsworth called school off that day, that there was no school here and there were no fatalities. And then to come back today and see the community back and everyone here, it's really rewarding and it's uplifting. And I'm very thankful for the leadership of Mr. Harden. You know, the week after the tornadoes, the Saturday after the tornadoes, they were in the baseball state playoffs. And another school in our state gave them uniforms to play, and they played in that game and they won. People took up a donation after the game to feed those kids. We feel like athletics was also an integral part of helping this community come back together. But we're very thankful to Mr. Harden, Mr. Hollingsworth for their leadership. This community is very lucky to have them both.
And it's been amazing to see them come back. But we'll have more, the second half, coming up right after these messages.
Not everyone can do what an AllaCare nurse can do. It comes from within.
You have to have that desire and that passion to help patients.
The nurses at AllaCare have that passion.
And I think that's what makes AllaCare unique.
We have people that have such a passion for what they do.
The staff at AllaCare is like family. I wouldn't work anywhere else.
We are looking for nurses like you to join us. Call AllaCare today.
Style is more than just a look. It's a reflection of how you see the world. Hey! It's not just about being trendy or current. It's about being true. It's distinct, personal, and authentic. And it's defined by everything you do. Hey! At Schaefer Eye Center, we don't just improve your vision. We help shape the way the world sees you.
2014 marks the 75th year our state parks have served the people of Alabama. During this diamond anniversary, you'll discover special events to celebrate this milestone. Hey there, Bob Baumhauer here. Whether you like camping under the stars or staying at a resort lodge, the Alabama State Parks specialize in amazing family adventures. Let's make this the best year yet. We depend on our partners, and just like these folks here, you can be a partner too by supporting our state parks.
Visit our park today!
Bell's Transmission is a trusted name in the River region for automotive repairs. At Bell's Transmission, we don't just work on transmissions. We can handle all jobs, large or small, from complete engine overhauls to oil changes and tires. With a large state-of-the-art facility, we have the know-how and the technology to handle any automotive repair, and we stand behind our work with a warranty on all jobs. Plus, we will beat anyone's price. So for quality automotive work at the best price, trust Bell's Transmission in Montgomery.
Just about ready for the second half, 14-7. The Panthers of Hackleburg on top of R.A. Hubbard. Quite frankly, the score I don't think is very indicative of how dominant the Panthers have been.
Well, really it's not, Graham, because you look at field position. You know, I think Ken told us 5 of the plays, total plays in the first half that R.A. Hubbard ran were in negative territory. And, you know, a couple of those came right at the end of the half. And they were kind of meaningless. But on the other side of the coin, I think Hackleburg's run 32, 34 plays, all but like 4 of those have been on the positive side of the field. So they have dominated field position. And, you know, they had that turnover right there on a drive, the interception. But then you look at the dive into the end zone by Harper. And then a big play here by Christian Jones as he gets loose, makes a nice cut, scores the second touchdown. There's a 2-point conversion that made it 14-0. And then this play right here, and we talked about it, we believe that little stutter step by Deontay Carter there froze the defense just enough to get that receiver open, KJ open for the touchdown. But look at the stats, Hackleburg.
And the one cat at the bottom is the one that matters most. 28 of 32 plays.
And only 5 of 22 for R.A. Hubbard.
Exactly. So 14-7. As we head into the third quarter. Before we go to this next break, we would like to pay tribute to the family of Jake Linville. The coach at Deschler High School was laid to rest today. He was 42 years old. He died on Sunday. He leaves behind a family of a wife and 2 daughters. Again, our condolences to the family of Jake Linville of Deschler High School.
Last year, I challenged our relocation team to be even better. Their response was, it will cost you your 42-year-old mustache. Today, we're the only platinum-recognized Cardis USA broker in the state of Alabama. I sure miss that mustache.
The warrior spirit, it's in there. Always has been. Now let it out and take the world by fire. Train well and learn what it means to be a Troy Trojan. Walk with confidence. Conquer. claim territory and climb ladders. Discover your inner warrior.
Find success in teaching others with an education degree from Troy University. For details, visit troy.edu/spirit.
At Dentistry for Children, we love to make kids smile. Dr. Julia Schreiber and Dr. Benjamin Cumbus specialize in pediatric dentistry, treating infants, children, and patients with special needs. You can trust Dentistry for Children to provide the highest quality care for children of all ages. Beautiful smiles begin at Dentistry for Children. Call today to make your appointment with our professional caring staff. Dentistry for Children in Montgomery and Wetumpka, proudly making kids smile for over 30 years.
For the largest selection of top name brand tires and automotive repair needs, shop West Cook Tire and Auto. Michelin, BF Goodrich, Uniroyal, Bridgestone, Goodyear, and Firestone tires. Shop now and pay $10 over cost on Michelin, BF Goodrich, Continental, and General tires. Buy 4 tires and get free lifetime nitrogen plus free alignment check. Another $70 value free. West Cook's Tire and Auto, your one-stop automotive shop. 6249 Atlanta Highway. Call 272-7518.
What sets ERA King apart? Lead management technology and search engine optimization, virtual tours, curbside audio, enhanced listings with Trulia, Homes.com, and Realtor.com on every single listing. Yes, and rule number 1, just do the right thing.
Two teams back on the field. We're ready to go for the second half. Hubbard will have it first to start this third quarter, and showed a little bit there late. Got out of the shadows of their end zone. Looked like they were about to kick out of the end zone and possibly give Hackleburg a chance, but a couple of big runs by the big senior KJ Davis, and now they get it back to start the second half.
Well, those were big plays for Hubbard right there, because this could be a different story right now if Hackleburg keeps them pinned up.
Well, as we say, it's a one-possession game. As the kickoff by Tombo Johnson. He'll go the other side of the field, and he'll pick up about 15 yards on that return. That was after dropping the kickoff initially. It'll be first down at 38.
Boy, he ran about 60 yards right there to gain a total of about what would have been 15 or 16 from where he initially got the ball.
Nicholas Vincent, I have a feeling, had a nice little chat with his Chiefs in the halftime locker room. More than likely, it was not a pretty sight.
I would think not. But they did have some positive there at the end of the first half. Let's see if they carry that over while they get the football here first. But
wow,
not
can't
sure,
even get started.
Not sure that's going to happen, because they didn't even get a snap off before a handkerchief hit the ground. So
it's first and 15 after the false start. And these are the things that, well, you're in your 9th game of the year. And quite frankly, shouldn't be happening.
Shouldn't be happening. No, you're right. This point in the year, those little mistakes like that shouldn't be happening.
And right off the bat, nothing doing for KJ Davis.
1, 2, 3, 4.
As Christina has a guest on the sideline.
Thanks, guys. There are 22 Alabama State Parks across the state. I'm here with Kevin Jones at Alabama State Parks. This is a special year for you guys.
It is, very much so. It's our 75th anniversary, so 75 years of serving the people of Alabama. And we just like to say thank you for having us here. What a great night for high school football. Once again, y'all have done an outstanding job. And help celebrate our 75 years of service. We've introduced a new smartphone app this year. It's available for iPhone users and Android users as well. It's named the Pocket Ranger. So what it really does is it kind of takes you through the park. In absence of an actual park ranger, you can enter the park, check out any of our hiking trails, our biking trails, or any of the other amenities, golf and things like that. It also features some advanced GPS mapping features. So you can hike down the trails, bike down the trails, actually save your GPS coordinates, and has a lot of social media sharing capabilities too. So you can share that amongst amongst your friends. And also, this is a great time of year to visit the Alabama State Parks. Fall foliage is huge right now for us. Our northern parks like Joe Wheeler State Park, Lake Guntersville State Park, DeSoto State Park, and even Mount Cheaha, which is the highest point in Alabama. We really pride ourselves in having great facilities to get out and enjoy some of the fall foliage. And we've got a lot of customers that visit our northern state parks and really say, hey, you know, you guys got a great thing. It's just as good as what we see in the Smoky Mountains. So we encourage everybody to get out and download our free app and visit some of these parks to take advantage of the fall foliage and use that app to help guide you through the parks and really get out and enjoy what we provide the people of Alabama.
Guys, back to you.
All right, couple of plays, couple of penalties in that stretch. And a nice run by Carter, but he did not get enough for the first down. Got to the front stake, as we say, so it'll be 4th and 9. And this was a very promising start to a drive, and the penalties again. They had 3 of them.
Well, they really stubbed their toe with those penalties right there. That was a nice run by Carter to get the yardage that he got, but still it's 4th and 9.
I also saw a pass just off the hands of Davis. Looked like he might have short-armed it a little bit, thought he might get hit. That's going to take a positive roll. And Hubbard will down it inside the 25. Timeout on the field, 9:52 remaining in this third quarter. Hackleburg on top by 7.
Go. Hard work, determination, teamwork. It can mean the difference between winning and losing. These are values that I teach my sons and players on the football field, and they are values we believe in at Wedemark and Keith. If you have been hurt, put my firm's hard work, determination, and legal team to work for you.
Wedemark Keith, because your case matters. Call 800-309-0500.
Children's of Alabama has been taking care of kids across our state for over 100 years. The opening of the Benjamin Russell Hospital for Children allows even more patient care. It leads the country in technology and innovation, including 17 state-of-the-art operating rooms, an expanded imaging center, and the Bruno Pediatric Heart Center, just to name a few. Children provides the highest level of care in a loving, comforting environment. I hope that you or anyone in your family never needs to be a patient, but if they do, Children's is here for you.
For the largest selection of top name brand tires and automotive repair needs, shop West Cook Tire and Auto. Michelin, BF Goodrich, Uniroyal, Bridgestone, Goodyear, and Firestone tires. Shop now and pay $10 over cost on Michelin, BF Goodrich, Continental, and General tires. Buy 4 tires and get free lifetime nitrogen plus free alignment check. Another $70 value free. West Cook's Tire and Auto, your one-stop automotive shop. 6249 Atlanta Highway. Call 272-7518.
Did you know distracted driving is now the leading cause of all car crashes? One text or call can wreck it all. So keep your eyes on the road. Don't text and drive. A message from the Alabama Department of Transportation reminding you, drive safe, Alabama. Well, the first possession nets nothing for R.A. Hubbard. Got a good return on the kickoff, but again, penalties, and you wonder if they're going to run out of ammo. They keep shooting themselves in the foot. As a first down run, a good one, and a first down. We've seen Christian Jones do that a lot tonight.
And we're keeping up with our stat tracker here. We'll find out how many yards he has now. Of course, he needed 111 entering the ball game to reach 1,000 yards.
He had close to 70 in that first half. 84. I guess I missed a couple. And another good run there to start this drive for Hackleburg, leading it by 7. Again, the winner tonight wins Region 8 in Class 1A. This time they try the right side of the line. And another positive play of about 5, maybe 6 yards for Mr. Johnson. Excuse me, Mr. Jones, Christian Jones, who, by the way, spells his name with a K.
With a K, yes. So,
2nd and 4 at the 45.
We have a Christian with a K, and we have a Caleb with a K in this game.
We got K's all over the place. Same play, and they're really running that straight ahead on that, what is usually a pretty stout defense by R.A. Hubbard, but they have not been able to solve what is more or less a belly play.
It really is. It's just a straight ahead running play. It is a little bit of a zone read. You know, Harper could pull it and keep it if he wanted to, but there's been no need for him to do that so far.
Why? Why would you do it? Ball at midfield, 1st and 10. One back in motion. This time the keeper. And Harper will get about 9, maybe 10. They'll mark him actually short of the first down marker. About the 42. We'll give credit to T.J. Harris for the tackle, but if you can do this the rest of the game.
You got it where you want it.
Yeah.
You know, and this is what Coach Hudson told me this week. He said, we really like to control the line of scrimmage and get our guys moving downhill. We've said that a couple of times, and they are doing that so far here in the second half, that's for sure.
So short yardage needed on 2nd down. They need the 40. Ball at the 42. Again, one in motion, and he gets the handoff. Cutting it back upfield, 1st down and more for Evan Crow, who very quietly has had a pretty good ball game tonight.
Well, he really has, and you know, he was injured up until his first game back was last week. He had missed a couple of ball games, and he was sort of a missing link on their offense, according to Coach Hudson. And when they got him back last week, he said that really sparked them a little bit, gave them another weapon to use on the offensive side. But he's been really good on a couple of kick returns as well.
I believe that's the 3rd first down of this drive. Quarterback keeper again, this time minimal gain. Looked like Harper was met. We'll check the number 6 hitting first. That is Tombo Johnson.
They faked that little speed sweep that time, and Harper tried to make the keep. But
you know, we haven't really seen Harper run the football much tonight. We talked about the fact that, well, and early on he did.
Early on, in the first drive he did. He had some big runs in that first drive as they marched down the field. But since then, it's mainly been Christian Jones.
Jones gets the handoff this time, going left. Flag comes in. That'll be a hold as he gets across the 30 down close to the 25, but that's probably coming back.
Most likely.
You see the arms extended on an lineman like that, that's usually what happens. And that's what we saw there. That'll be a 10-yard step off. We'll see where they spot it. Looks like the 44. So now 2nd and about 19 for Hackleburg. They've got one more game left next week at Phil Campbell. That's a 2A game, non-region. And then no matter what happens tonight, they will play in the postseason.
Right.
Now there's some craziness going on across the state in these regional battles, and we don't have time to go over all of them.
We don't even have close to time to go over all of them.
It is unreal. I'll tell you a little story of what's going on down in Central Alabama after this play. Will we get a reverse? Yes. The pitching going the other way. Plenty of room to run. 1st down and out of bounds goes Crow, Evan Crow.
Flags all over the place over there on the other side of the field. That was behind the play. I'm not sure exactly what happened, but flags came flying from about 3 different directions.
I realize that we're up here high where we can see, but it will go against Hubbard. And that'll tack on 15 to that long run by Crow, and we'll see it again. But I don't know about you, but I saw that coming.
Oh, yeah. It was developing, and the flow went this way. You see the tackle over there now. Whatever occurred was about 10 yards behind that tackle, and it involved Court Stidham. I don't know who he got tied up with or what happened, but he was the victim on that play. And, well, if you look at it from that standpoint, I think R.A. Hubbard was the victim because they got a 15-yard penalty.
So 1st and 10, and a pickup of about 2 on that play for Christian Jones. You know, I've often wondered, I'm going to ask you this question, because I played at a big school. We didn't have many guys going both ways, but you think a guy like this who's going to play both sides of the ball, he's going to carry it 30 times, he's going to play another 45 plays on defense. I mean, gee whiz, you got to be exhausted after a game.
It does wear these kids out. You know, they are exhausted after games, but you know, they take their conditioning program seriously, and
And that's a near touchdown, or is it?
It is
just
not
short.
quite, but I believe it's going to be a first down.
It will be indeed. Matt Harper close to the goal line. It'll be a first and goal at the 2, it looks like. But I'm just amazed at these young men. And granted, I know that the guys who play for the big schools, they're in great shape too, but most of them aren't going two ways.
That's true. And you also got to remember, Graham, that at a school like this, these guys will come right out of football, and most of them will go on the basketball court.
That's right, or wrestling,
or wrestling.
Something.
Yep.
Untouched goes the quarterback. Harper, touchdown, Hackleburg.
And then they'll leave basketball and they'll go out on the baseball field.
Exactly.
So, you know, or the track.
Or both.
Or both, you're right. And so it's a year-round thing for these guys. It's a testament to their commitment to athletics. And most of them, for the most part, are good students as well. So they're well-rounded for sure.
20-7. With 5:23 to go here in the third quarter. That play, that drive, excuse me, as they will go for 2. And did he get across the line? I believe he did.
He did, yes.
So the 2-point conversion is good. 22-7 to complete an 11 play, 75-yard drive. I'll get out in a second. 22-7, Hackleburg on top.
Derek, what's with the scrubs? Shh. She's going for it. It's gonna work. She's going for the burger. Stand back, everyone. I'm a doctor. Whoop. I got it. I'm a doctor. I got it.
Jack, for more. You'll never guess what 400,000 people in the U.S. were using when they crashed their cars last year. No, not this. This. Distracted driving will kill you. Drive safe, Alabama. A message from your Alabama Department of Transportation. So you got caught speeding, but this time you got more than a ticket.
What are you in for?
Vehicular homicide. Stop speeding before speeding stops you. Drive safe, Alabama. A message from your Alabama Department of Transportation.
A famous man once said there are some things you should never see being made, but you should see how they've been making sausage for generations down in Autauga County. And there's a beautiful bike path which trails through East Alabama, so get in gear and come along for that ride. And while they're cutting new trails through Calhoun County, we're tearing down a few barns in Blount County and making something else, new and beautiful and absolutely Alabama.
I got a call from Ashley, one of my customers, because
it looks like there's been some sort of explosion.
There is soot everywhere, all over this house, and she finds something very strange.
Someone's been here.
Call 911. I'll be right there.
I can't hold it.
It turns out someone tried to break into her house, and they got stuck in the chimney. Ashley was covered for the damage to the chimney and the cleanup.
For service and savings, call Alpha.
22-7, Hackleburg on top. Just over 5 minutes to play here. Very, very impressive drive by the Panthers.
Well, it was, you know, and again, it was all on the ground. Christian Jones, Evan Crow, and Matt Harper did all the work right there.
Got a little help.
Got a little help. Yeah, a penalty, you know, personal foul penalty was a big one against R.A. Hubbard that moved it down there, but they did what they wanted to do on that drive.
So Harper will kick. Now with a 2-touchdown lead plus a 2-point conversion. And the Chiefs got to get something going here. Quit shooting themselves in the foot with penalties. Kick comes down to Davis at the 28. Breaks a tackle and spins away. Almost got loose, but down at the 43. And the always original Christina has somebody down on the sideline.
Thank you, Graham. It's always an honor to have the Army National Guard join us. I'm here with Staff Sergeant Marcus Lawler. You saw the devastation here after April 27th, 2011 firsthand. What role does the Army National Guard play in natural disasters?
The National Guard, we help with the first responders
the ambulance, the police officers, help do search and rescue, hand out food, water, ice, and different things like that.
You recruit here at Hackleburg. What are some of the benefits of joining the Army National Guard?
We have the Montgomery GI Bill, federal tuition assistance, and state tuition assistance, and a part-time paycheck that will help alleviate some of the educational burden that some of the students are having when they get to college.
What kind of jobs do you guys offer?
We have some engineer jobs. We have heavy equipment operators in this area, some electricians, some plumbers, some technical jobs that will help these young students in the civilian world.
And if people are watching this, especially students, where can they go and find out more information? You guys just got a new app.
The Alabama National Guard app, it's a free app. Anybody can try it out. It has some of those jobs listed on there throughout the state, and a lot of cool information for kids. And I know they use these smartphones like crazy, so it's a pretty cool app.
All right, thank you so much, guys.
Well, you saw a 26-yard run by the quarterback, Carter, followed by about a 10-yard run that was actually brought back because of a penalty. And there's the look at it again. Carter, well, when he gets his motor revving, he's a load. He just hadn't been able to do that enough. Davis left side. He doesn't run to the left much, and he picks up about 3. He was knocked down by 55, Cole Rivas. So 3rd and 8 coming up. Let's make it 3rd and 7 now as they move the sticks across the way a little bit.
I've been impressed, Graham, by the defensive ends for Hackleburg. You know, Ethan Gintz over there, 6'5", 200. He's a big kid, but on the other side, you know, you got the 5'8", 150 guy in Briley Holland. But those guys set the edge really well. They haven't gotten too many plays outside over there.
Well, that pass, I believe, was intended for Davis, although you also had Brandon Hampton out there who was open.
Well, you know, I'm not so sure that wasn't intended for Hampton. He's kind of having some words now with Davis for getting hands on that ball, because you see him put his hands out there. It's like, what are you doing, man? I was open.
They will go for it here on 4th and 8. Let's make it 4th and 7. They need to get close to the 20 for a first down. And trying to find something to do with it, and then losing his balance and then going down is the quarterback, Carter. And we'll check it. I think, was that 34 that got in there for the sack?
Robbie Emerson come up and gave him a jolt, you know, and kind of knocked him off balance, and, you know, got enough of him to get him off balance enough. But you're going to see he's going to freeze here. I'm not sure what they were intending to do on that play. But that wasn't Emerson that gave him the jolt. That was another player.
I believe that might have been Briley Holland.
I think you're right.
Number 8.
Got him knocked off balance, and he couldn't get his footing back under him, so they give it over on downs.
Off the 33. Hackleburg goes right back to the running game. And this time a couple for Evan Crow. It's going to be 2nd and 8. Clock at 3:05 and counting. I love to do this. I don't know why, but you start looking at the playoffs and the brackets and who you have to take on. And we'll get into this a little bit in the 4th quarter. But going back to what we were talking about earlier, the playoff picture in just about every classification has a nice run by the quarterback again, Harper, and he's still on his feet across the 45, down across the 40, first down. That's about a 26-yard gain. But going back to what I was talking about, within central Alabama, which is where I live, we have roughly 16, 17 regions.
Right.
Only 7 of them have decided their team that's won it.
Right.
I mean, we're in the next to the last week of the season.
And it's still up in the air. It's still up in the air. You're right. I mean, it's crazy.
And it's that way pretty much everywhere. As the first down carry is a little gain for Jones. He'll get about a yard. And you see some Chief out there pulling on some toes and maybe some cramps. Yeah, it's cool tonight, but those guys, if we were talking earlier, just like the Hackleburg players, the Hubbard guys have been on the field all night as well.
Exactly. That's Justin Willingham out there that is trying to get his calves stretched out.
And he refuses to stand up, and I can understand why.
Yeah, you know, a lot of times when you got those things going on, you just knock back up when you stand up.
Again, we want to say how proud we are to have the Alabama Army National Guard as tonight's closed caption sponsor. Did you know that you can serve the National Guard while you complete your college education? Receive your education benefits along the way. You can learn more. Go online, nationalguard.al.com.
And we'll see the tight-legged heel-toe walk back to the sideline there.
Willingham's been in on several tackles tonight.
He has. He's been very active, and he's also the center on offense.
Yep.
So he's, you know, one of those guys, you know, when you're in 1A football, you're going to have a lot of them playing both ways, and they lose some perspiration.
You counted, I believe, of the 22 starters both ways, 11, of course, on each side. I want to say it's, what, about 7 going both ways? Harper dodging tacklers, still loose, inside the 20, inside the 5, close to the goal line. Ball comes out, but I believe he's down.
He's down, yes.
They'll mark him at the 2. And I think we're starting to see fatigue set in on the Chiefs' defense.
Well, I think so, and I see you're going to see a great fake right there by Harper, and there was nobody in containment on the left side for R.A. Hubbard, and Matt Harper had all day to run, and he got some speed going, and he almost took the defender on a free ride into the end zone there.
That was Golston on the ride. I don't know if he had the proper number of tickets, but it is first and goal at the 3. 37 yards, by the way, on the carry for the quarterback. He's got to be getting close to 100 yards. And dragging a tackler. Did he get in?
He did.
He did. Touchdown, Christian Jones. And it's 28-7.
Well, you might have heard the play call there if you heard that open mic in the background. They're going to run a sweep.
Are we picking up the plays from the offensive coordinator?
We got it from the head coach there, I believe. I think I heard that through Christina's mic. I don't know if it went out over the air. We can hear it in our headsets here.
Another 2-point try and another converted 2-point try. Jones again. So the lead 30-7 with 1:35 to play in the third. Hackleburg undefeated in region play, and they are just.
All right, according to Ken, Christian Jones now 15 carries, 101 yards.
He needed how many?
He needs 111. He needs 10 more yards for 1,000 this season. And the quarterback, Harper's got to be, I mean, I know on 2 carries he had 60 yards in the last couple of drives, so he's got to be up close to 100 as well.
I'm going to put my money right here. Say he gets it. Boy, there's a really dangerous bet, isn't it?
That's a dangerous, you should be ashamed of yourself.
What a performance in the second half. We talked about it in the first half, Al. Hackleburg had great field position. They really haven't had great, maybe that's the answer. They have not had as good a field position in the second half, and they've scored twice.
Muffed kick.
I don't know if that might have been a miss or what, but it is fielded by the Chiefs and brought back by Hampton to the 40.
I don't think it was intentional.
No, I don't think so.
It just had that kind of squib action on it. Almost turned out good.
Was Lucy holding that ball? I don't know. Ball at the 39. It is that time of year, you know.
It is.
Oh, Charlie Brown.
The Great Pumpkin.
That's right. Has that been on yet, by the way?
I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, wait a minute. I got a yes behind
Ken's
me.
shaking his head, yes. Look at Harper. 132 yards on the ground tonight. A couple of touchdowns.
Carter in the backfield going down. He was looking to throw, and then he decided to run it, and that was a mistake. Cole Rivas with a sack, loss of 3. It'll be 2nd and 13. Yeah, I said that Harper's not running the ball much tonight, Ryan. Did that come out of my mouth?
I think you did make that remark.
I thought, wait a minute, maybe I didn't say that.
But that was on the first possession of the second half, and on that particular drive, he was not running the ball very much because Christian Jones was.
He ran the first possession. I think he had about 3 or 4 carries, and then it was mostly Christian Jones from that point. 2nd and 12, clock under a minute. Davis gets across the 40 to about the 41. And the tackle credited to Ethan Gintz. So a 3rd and 8 coming up. Well, the Chiefs, if this holds up, will finish 3rd in region play. So they will be heading to the playoffs, but that means they will be on the road for the first round. And the way it works, if you didn't know, the top 2 seeds of each region will have a home game. And they'll be, all 4 teams out of that region will be paired against another region, 1 through 4. Another flag. This has been the story of the night for the Hubbard offense.
May have had a false start.
Actually, this is going against the defense.
Oh, lined up in the neutral zone. Yep.
Well, I want to say apologies to the Chiefs. Doesn't change what I said, because they have really hurt themselves with penalties. It'll be now 3rd and 4. Actually, let's call it 3rd and 3. At the 46, they need the 49. But they may not get a playoff before the end of the quarter. So Hackleburg will take a 30-7 advantage into the 4th period. Stay tuned as we continue our coverage of high school football Thursday night touchdowns on Raycom.
What sets ERA King apart? Lead management technology and search engine optimization, virtual tours, curbside audio, enhanced listings with Trulia, Homes.com, and Realtor.com on every single listing. Yes, and rule number 1, just do the right thing.
I got a call from Ashley, one of my customers, because
It looks like there's been some sort of explosion.
there is soot everywhere, all over this house, and she finds something very strange.
Someone's been here.
Call 911. I'll be right there.
I can't hold
It turns out someone tried to break into her house, and they got stuck in the chimney. Ashley was covered for the damage to the chimney and the cleanup.
For service and savings, call Alpha.
Doing nice things for people and the cars they drive. Red Basil and Son. We gotta do it right, do what you expect. You gotta get the best service you can get. For over 40 years it's been our attitude, taking care of you, doing nice things for people and the cars they drive. Red Basil and Son.
When your cable company, overnight, expands the number of high-definition channels to over 200, the most available anywhere, and allows you to look at the world with such stunning, incredible, unimaginable clarity, you will see the details, inside the details, inside the details. And the way you see TV will be changed forever. Charter Spectrum TV is here, starting at $29.99 per month.
44 years and growing, ERA King is the exception to the rule. We actually grew during the recent recession. How was this possible? My dad had a simple explanation. Just do the right thing. We're ERA King Real Estate.
One quarter to go, 30-7. Hackleburg with a lead over R.A. Hubbard. The Chiefs have it 3rd and 3. They need about the 49. Davis will get it and more. He gets the corner across the 40. Look at the speed as he gets out of bounds at about the 25. They've missed that tonight, though, Mike. It has been something that they've been trying, but Davis, that's the first time he's gotten loose.
Well, we talked a little bit earlier about how good a job the defensive ends have done at getting the edge. And right here, Gintz is just going to get turned inside just a little bit and gives them just enough daylight to get that edge over there, and a positive play for KJ.
Unless I missed it, I thought Carter was out there on the end that time.
I believe
and now he is set up as a fullback. Golston back at quarterback. We saw this in the first part of the game. Handoff goes to Carter. He'll get about, well, we'll call it 5 to the 25. Tackle made by Isaiah Purser. First time we've called Purser's name tonight. But I'm not going to say it's too late. Anything can happen. But they would have loved to have had a couple of those runs in the first half. We'll see if they can turn this into some points. All at the 26. Pitch. Davis lost it. Still on the ground. And it looked like Hackleburg got it. It is recovered by the Panthers. Briley Holland with a fumble recovery. And that gives it right back to the home team.
And there's that man, Briley Holland, that Coach Hudson talked about. He's always in the right place. And this time he's in the right place to recover the fumble.
Davis never got a hand on that ball. He got a hand on it, but never got the handle of it, I should say. And once it was on the ground, too many black shirts around it. From the 29, first down. Pitch back. Crow somehow gets out of trouble, gets across midfield, and then runs over Jordan Johnson for a big gain.
And this is when, Graham, when you're a head coach, you're feeling pretty good about your team when you're able to do things like that.
31 yards, let's look at it again. There's just no defenders over there.
I think you had one coach that thought it was going to be a touchdown. I saw those arms, arms up.
Johnson was there, but he paid for it. First and 10 at the 40, again on the plus side. Stidham breaks a couple of tackles, and he's got a first down, or close to it. And Jordan Johnson again, he is running on both sides, both sidelines. And I think he's struggling with cramps, or is he just trying to run off a bump knee?
I think he may have banged his knee right there. He's trying to run that off.
As much as Hackleburg has run the football here in the second half, and they've had a lot of success, it's no wonder the Chiefs are struggling making tackles at this point. Look at all the hands on hips.
Yep.
First and 10 at the 30. Clock is moving. 10:25 to go. Pitch. Oop. Spinning away.
He's going to get loose.
You know what? He is. Inside the 20. Cuts it back again. And he's going to score.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow. Christian Jones, 30 yards.
And congratulations, Christian Jones. You've just gone over 1,000 yards for the season, and you got a touchdown to boot.
And I got to give credit, as you saw there, Jordan Johnson just tapped Mr. Jones on the helmet and said, I can't touch that. Was there a flag?
There was a flag, and it's going to come back.
So much for the 1,000 yards.
So much for the 1,000 yards. We spoke too soon. We didn't see the hanky on the grass.
And they moved that back to the 39, by the way.
Regardless of the penalty right there, what an individual effort by Christian Jones here. I mean, he's dead in the backfield and gets away. And then look, makes a great cut, gets away again from contact, and then he's gone. Too bad there was a penalty behind the play.
First and a mile. This time Harper takes it, and he gets a big gain. And I think he's got another first down.
Well, he's having a game too. This guy, Coach Hudson told me that he thought he would get over 1,000 yards rushing this year as well, and he's up now over 900 yards with his total this game.
I'm going to make a bet, though, he does not get 1,000 tonight. I don't think he's going to get another 100 yards.
He had 768 coming in.
Well, now, wait a minute.
He's got 100 and... He's got 151 so far. Doing the math with my little calculator in my head here, that is 918 yards, right? He only needs 82 more yards. It could happen.
I don't know.
It could happen.
I would say they probably would substitute him if they had one.
Right.
I mean, I don't know that I'm sure they've got a backup quarterback, and we might see him.
Well, and we got to mention one player that we haven't given a shout out to tonight, and that's a young man, Caleb Moore. Caleb Moore, number 5, an 8th grader, was their leading receiver. He was, I believe, the backup quarterback as well. So I'm not sure who the backup is now. But Caleb Moore suffered a broken leg just above the ankle, and he's out for the rest of the season. But 6'3" already as an 8th grader, and from what I hear, a special player. But I believe he was the backup quarterback, also the leading receiver. And tough doing without him, but they've done pretty well so far.
I have a feeling the basketball coach is not real happy about that broken leg either.
You're probably right. You're probably right.
Guess who? There he goes. He's loose. Touchdown. I don't see a flag this time.
Now we can congratulate him. Congratulations.
He just wanted to do it twice so we could get congratulated twice.
Congratulations, right? Christian Jones. 1,000 yards rushing on the season. Over 1,000 yards now. That gives him 123 on the night. 3 touchdowns. Put on a show for the folks. Look at those two guys right there.
Yep.
Between Harper and Jones, 33 carries, 155 yards, and 5 touchdowns.
Wow. That is amazing. And this is not a slouch of a defense either they're doing this against. It's pretty good defense.
255 yards. I didn't carry my. Yeah, I didn't. Yeah.
You didn't carry your wand.
Common Core's gotten me.
That kick was no good. It's 36-7. Oh my goodness.
My son, I gotta mention this. Last night we're watching TV, and we got a mailer yesterday. You know, as you get a political mailer,
right?
And it was comparing 2 candidates. Yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. Common Core is on there. My son, my 10-year-old son, picks it up. He's a 5th grader. He's looking at it. He's reading off between these 2 candidates. He gets down to Common Core, and he says, Common Core? And he noticed that one of the candidates was for Common Core. The other one was against it. He said, I hate Common Core. I hope y'all don't vote for that candidate.
Such a young guy already involved in the political realm of, yeah. By the way, I don't have a dog in that fight anymore because I don't have kids in school anymore, at least not in public school.
Well, I'm an old guy to have a 5th grader.
Yes, you are. You're an old guy without a 5th grader.
Thanks.
Running it back and up close to the 40. And again, a big stick. Who was that? Was that 70?
Was 70.
That was Ryan Davis.
Ryan Davis.
And the runner is not getting up, and I'm still trying to check who that was. Or was that maybe a lineman who got caught in between?
I think he might have got caught in the sandwich. I'm not sure. He is not moving very much right now.
36-7. Hackleburg on their way to a Region 8 title. And I'm just going to lean over here and grab my little book. We all like little books, right? And find out just where we are in the regional standings. I believe Region 8 plays Region 5 in the playoffs. We're going to take a quick timeout, and we'll be back. 8:24 to go, 36-7, Hackleburg on top.
I remember the moment.
I'll never forget that moment.
That changed my life.
At that moment, it hit me. This is why I joined the Guard. We're soldiers, always ready to protect our country. But we've also got communities. Family, friends, neighbors who count on us. I couldn't believe it. I just saved a life to somebody from my hometown.
See what it means to be a citizen soldier at NationalGuard.com.
At Baumhauer's, we're all about great sports, legendary food, and Southern pride. That's why we're serving up all your Southern favorites, like our tangy grilled fish salad, hot Bama brown, and our famous wings. And it wouldn't be the South if it didn't have a little kick, like a homemade gumbo and wild Gulf shrimp and grits. And don't forget our mouthwatering desserts like Bama Nana Pudding or strawberry shortcake. So call the gang and put a little South in your mouth.
Out of 89 Renaissance hotels in North America, the spa at the Renaissance Hotel in Montgomery was ranked #1 as of August 2014. Out of 358 Marriott hotels, the spa at the Marriott Shoals was ranked #1. 3 other spas on the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail also rank in the top 7. Clearly, world-class golf and the best spas for 2014 are in Sweet Home, Alabama. Call 800-MARRIOTT to find out more.
2014 marks the 75th year our state parks have served the people of Alabama. During this diamond anniversary, you'll discover special events to celebrate this milestone. Hey there, Bob Baumhauer here. Whether you like camping under the stars or staying at a resort lodge, the Alabama State Parks specialize in amazing family adventures. Let's make this the best year yet. We depend on our partners, and just like these folks here, you can be a partner too by supporting our state parks.
Visit our park today!
They are still tending to a player on the field, and we are sorry we are not able to tell you who it might be. They have rolled him over on his back, so they look like they will be carting him off here in just a minute or two. As you might expect, this place is quite quiet right now.
Very quiet.
With concern. But as soon as we can see a jersey number, we'll try to give you the player's name. Again, it was a kind of an odd play on a kickoff return. The return man came up to the middle of the field, and it looked like he just kind of, I don't want to say he ran up on the back of the blocker, but the blocker somehow got, as you said, sandwiched between the runner and the tackler.
And there was a big jolt. It was a jolting tackle. It was a big hit by a big player, and I think he just kind of got caught between the runner and the tackler and went straight down.
And his family is now out on the field. And certainly anytime there's a possibility of any kind of spinal injury or head injury, they don't take any.
You're going to err on the side of caution.
Exactly.
No doubt. And that's what they're doing now. There's a little more movement now around the crowd there, so hopefully that's a good sign.
And they do have one of those flat boards out there that they will try to place him on. And as you can see, there is a cart out there ready to cart him off the field. So just a terrible night. It's been a rough night for R.A. Hubbard, and this really just kind of makes it more difficult to deal with. We hope, though, that the young man will be okay. We're going to take another timeout. We'll be back in a moment.
Derek, what's with the scrubs? Shh.
She's going for it. It's gonna work. She's going for the burger.
Stand back, everyone. I'm a doctor. Look, I got it. Doctor. I got it. Jack for more. Way to go.
Hard work, determination, teamwork. It can mean the difference between winning and losing. These are values that I teach my sons and players on the football field, and they are values we believe in at Wedemark and Keith. If you have been hurt, put my firm's hard work, determination, and legal team to work for you.
Wedemark Keith, because your case matters. Call 800-309-0500.
We are still working on the situation here with a player who is injured, and again, we are sorry we cannot give you the name of the player. We are checking on that at the moment. Mike Peacock is trying to check it out a little closer with some binoculars here. They are again being very careful. They have put him on the flat board. They have been able to move him onto that, and they will eventually get him placed on this cart. But he is surrounded by coaches and family members. Even some of the coaches from Hackleburg are out on the field. Again, this happened on a kickoff return. And quite frankly, this is part of the reason why people, especially at the professional level and even at college level, would like to see the kickoff returns ended because of injuries such as this. You've got both sides, the players that are running at full speed and sometimes can get caught up, normally not on purpose, and I have no doubt that this particular injury was not on purpose. So we can also see the players that are gathering on this near sideline, the Hackleburg players now, along with the cheerleaders, in a moment of prayer.
Well, Graham, they have taken the precautions. They removed the face mask from his helmet. They have him strapped to the board. I still cannot see a jersey number.
I believe it is number 6, and that would be Tomalaski Johnson, Tombo as we've called him. And hopefully this is not too terribly serious, but again, they side with caution here. And they will take him, I imagine, to the nearest medical facility. It will be R.A. Hubbard football when we get back to action. First down for them at the 39. They're very slowly removing him from the field. So both teams will be back on the field here momentarily. We do want to remind you we've got more football action next week. We'll finish down in Mobile as Saraland will also be after a big region win. In fact, they are right now, if I check that, let me check my number here. I believe they are tied for first place in their region. In fact, actually they're a game up right now because again, they play 9 games in their region. It's one of those rare 9-team regions.
9-team region, yep.
Actually, they actually play 8 games in their region. But right now, they're 6-1. Spanish Fort, a surprise loser last week.
To Daphne. That must have been a great football game.
7-0, is that right?
I think, and Daphne scored with like 4 minutes left in the game, so it was 0-0 until late in the fourth quarter. What a football game.
Daphne also tied for, actually, they're half game out. But we'll have Saraland and Blunt. That'll be next week from Saraland here on Thursday Night Touchdowns. We'll hopefully get an update from Christina here on the injury here in just a minute. 1st and 10. Hubbard trailing by 36-7. Carter is back at quarterback. Trouble with a snap. Pitches it to Davis. He gets loose around the corner. Cuts it back upfield. 40, 30, speed, 20, 10, gets tripped up at the 5.
Matt Harper with the shoestring tackle right there, the last-ditch effort, and he got enough of a foot to get him down before he got to the end zone.
56 yards on the carry. A great run by the senior, but it may be too little too late. He's gotten loose a couple of times tonight, but not quite as far as that one. They mark him at the 5, 1st and goal. And still a bit of a somber mood here, as you might expect.
Yeah, it really is.
After that injury.
Up.
All the way back to the 25.
Wow.
Bad snap. But it's been that kind of night for the Chiefs.
It really has. You know, they got all the way down to the 5-yard line right there, and then the very first play, the snap was just down at the shoe tops and got past Deontay Carter. And just a typical play for them tonight, the way things have gone.
And we can kind of say this, you know, some nights things just don't go your way.
That's right. I mean, and we saw that last week.
Yeah.
You know, very early in the football game last week for Smith Station, who's not a bad football team. It just got going south, and they never could get it turned around. And, you know, just same kind of thing tonight.
Carter with a snap, looking to throw, and throws it in a crowd and almost caught.
That was a nice pass. The receiver just couldn't get turned enough to get both hands up right there.
Davenport was the intended receiver. He was there. You look at it again. Pass was on target.
Well thrown
maybe
ball.
A little bit to his left.
A little bit to that back shoulder.
So another third down, 3rd and goal, believe it or not, from the 25 after the big run from Davis, but then the bad snap. Clock is running. Actually, I beg your pardon, it's stopped, 6:58. And he'll throw it again. This time it's caught.
Or is it intercepted?
It is a catch for Hubbard. It will go to Jordan Johnson.
Did you see what Jordan Johnson did right there? He shook the hand of the official who called it a catch for the offense, because it was simultaneous possession, and it does go to the offense. And it was snatched away right there by Evan Crow. But he stands up, and he actually shook the hand of the official for making the right call right there.
I'd be happy, too.
That was pretty funny.
Because there hadn't been a whole lot of good things to shake the official's hand about tonight for Hubbard. 1st and goal, nothing. I believe that was the quarterback. It was Carter.
That was actually 4th and goal.
I beg your pardon. You're right.
You remember it was.
That's right.
It was from goal out here, so that was 4th and goal, and they did not get in the end zone.
So the ball will go back to Hackleburg. So that's pretty interesting. And I apologize. I was off on the first down marker there. We got to take a timeout. 36-7. Hackleburg on the way to a region championship.
When facing a life-threatening illness, you often go through a range of emotions. You can't really put it into words, but all you know is that help is needed. Alacare Hospice is an approach to healthcare that is designed to support the physical, emotional, and spiritual needs of someone nearing end of life. Alacare Hospice is fully covered by Medicare and most private insurance policies, and it allows you to stay in the best place possible, your own home. Ask your doctor about the care that Alacare Home Health and Hospice provides.
Science is how we continually improve the quality of care. Earlier detection, newer therapies, laser procedures, creative new treatments, innovation in lenses. At Schaefer Eye Center, these aren't simply services we offer our patients. They're how we're using technology to help them see well into the future.
Meet Pete and Paul. Twins so much alike, friends call them Pete and Repeat. But Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Alabama treats them as individuals. Each gets a health insurance plan designed to meet his specific needs. One is a self-employed entrepreneur, the other working for a large company. After all, no two customers are alike, especially in Alabama. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Alabama. We cover what matters. Find out how we can cover you.
Welcome back to Hackleburg, Alabama. We have an injury update for you on number 63, Blake Allen from R.A. Hubbard. He was conscious before he left the field, but he was complaining of back and neck injuries. So they loaded him up on the carrier, and they're taking him to Helen Keller Hospital to check him out further, but he was conscious as he was being carted off on the field, guys.
Well, that is great news, Christina. Thank you. And I want to apologize. We gave the wrong name.
Yeah.
And I want to apologize to the Johnson family. If those who were watching and heard us say it was their young man's injury, we apologize for that. So, but it is an injury to Blake Allen, but it does sound like things are going to be okay, or at least we hope. And we just had our first.
That was an inadvertent whistle, I believe.
First one we've had this year. And we get it in our, 10th or 11th game that we've covered.
It's our first one here, but it's my second one of the year because I had one in a game I was covering for the newspaper earlier this season on a Friday night.
So do you want to go ahead and explain how an inadvertent whistle works? Or
it usually works when the official who is watching a play gets fooled on a fake or something like that, and he blows his whistle and blows the play dead when it's actually not dead.
Correct.
And
the team with possession of the ball during the inadvertent whistle gets the choice. And in this case, you put it back where the ball was originally spotted.
Right.
Because the whistle blew with the ball in the end zone, and it would have been a safety. So Hackleburg will replay the down. Now, just by chance, if they'd have taken off for a 50-yard run and the whistle would have been blown maybe at the 40, then you take that play.
Right.
But you have the choice. Boy, there's been some crazy inadvertent whistles before. As a yard maybe for Harper on the play. But you don't see them very often, but that's one of the things officials are told. That's why you don't see them have the whistle in their mouth until it's time to blow it.
Right. Unlike a basketball official who basically
keeps it there all the time.
Keeps theirs in their mouth. The football official keeps his in his hand or around his neck until it's time to blow it.
2nd and 9. Clock moving. 5:50 and counting. Hackleburg trying to run out the clock. I don't know if that was a face mask. If it wasn't, it was close, and I think I did see a flag come in.
Flag did come in.
And that should be a 15-yard. That one spun Harper around. So Hackleburg on their way to the region title.
Indication is face mask.
See the call?
Chiefs be a 15-yard face mask.
And that means that Hubbard will be the 3rd seed in 2 weeks. The playoffs are still 2 weeks away. Jones again. Just to kind of run down what this region looks like. And I'm giving it as it's going to finish. And again, we just making assumptions here, which can be a dangerous thing to do. But Hackleburg will finish as the top team. Phillips Bear Creek will be 2nd, and Hubbard will be 3rd. I say that. Yes, that is correct, because Hubbard did beat, I believe, Decatur Heritage.
Right.
Another big run. If there's any question about him going over 1,000 yards, there aren't any now.
None whatsoever.
Jones gets about 15 on that play, maybe even 20. And I believe I checked this out earlier today. The Region 8 teams will play Region 5 teams in the first round, as you see that run again by Christian Jones. And right now, Donahoe is the team on top in that region. Followed by Raglan, Wadley, and Winterboro. Now, I say Winterboro, there's a 3-way tie right now for 4th place. And I don't have the tiebreaker, so I don't know where they are on all of that. Actually, let me back up. There's a 2-way tie for 4th with Winterboro and Talladega County Central. So more than likely, Hackleburg will play either Winterboro or Talladega. Now watch him play somebody else, right?
Of course.
2nd and 4.
Good tackle there.
And the cramps are showing up some more. You saw that was Tombo Johnson.
Yeah, he came from that end, and he closed on that play quick. Look at him shooting across from that left end spot.
3rd and we'll call it 5 at the 44. Again, Decatur Heritage, excuse me, I should say Hackleburg will play Phil Campbell next week. Harper with a keeper. And he'll get a couple as Jeremy Steele makes the tackle. R.A. Hubbard next week goes to Brilliant to finish out the regular season. we will be in Saraland next week.
Yes, we will.
For our final regular season game. It has been a great ride here on our first season of Thursday Night Touchdowns.
I've had a blast. I don't know about you, but I've had a blast.
It has been fantastic. And a rare punt for Hackleburg. From the 26. Harper with the return. Excuse me, make that Davenport. With 2:38 remaining, it's all Hackleburg here in the second half. We'll be back.
Derek, what's with the scrubs? Shh.
She's going for it. It's gonna work. She's going for the burger.
Stand back, everyone. I'm a doctor. Look, I got it. Doctor, I got it.
Jack, 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 for more, more, more. I remember the moment.
I'll never forget that moment.
That changed my life.
At that moment, it hit me. This is why I joined the Guard. We're soldiers, always ready to protect our country. But we've also got communities. Family, friends, neighbors who count on us. I couldn't believe it. I just saved a life to somebody from my hometown.
See what it means to be a citizen soldier at NationalGuard.com.
2014 marks the 75th year our state parks have served the people of Alabama. During this diamond anniversary, you'll discover special events to celebrate this milestone. Hey there, Bob Baumhauer here. Whether you like camping under the stars or staying at a resort lodge, the Alabama State Parks specialize in amazing family adventures. Let's make this the best year yet. We depend on our partners, and just like these folks here, you can be a partner too by supporting our state parks.
Visit our park today! At Baumhauer's, we're all about great sports, legendary food, and Southern pride. That's why we're serving up all your Southern favorites, like our tangy grilled fish salad, hot Bama brown, and our famous wings. And it wouldn't be the South if it didn't have a little kick, like a homemade gumbo and wild Gulf shrimp and grits. And don't forget our mouthwatering desserts like Bama Nana Pudding or strawberry shortcake. So call the gang and put a little South in your mouth.
Time for our Alabama State Parks play of the game. As you might expect, somebody from Hackleburg. This time it's the quarterback, Matt Harper. Goes over 1,000 yards for the season. He was 17 carries, 132 yards, 2 touchdowns tonight. You had your choice there.
Yeah.
A good one there, though, for Harper. A great night for him, a great night for the Panthers, who will celebrate a region title in a matter of moments. A lot of youngsters out on the field now for Hackleburg.
Fresh legs.
A lot of young men a lot of them played JV ball this year. Carter to run it. And he's brought down by Isaiah Purser. It will be a first down for the Chiefs.
Looks like the other Halston Hill is in the game now, though. Number 51.
I'm glad you're keeping up with that. I've had a, you know, we had a little fun coming up here.
We did.
Tonight with the Gwynn and Guin.
Guin, yeah.
Which is south of here on the way up to Hackleburg. And of course, I explained to you how that works. It's down around Hamilton, which is what, about 15, 20 miles from here.
Right.
So we got a lot of equality in the names in this part of the state, I guess. A little over 2 minutes to go. Carter to throw and running and looking and slinging downfield, incomplete. It'll be 2nd and 10. Watch it again, and you see athleticism all over this play.
Yep. Surprising.
I mean, he threw that across his body,
yeah,
about 4 yards.
Get that much on the ball.
Yeah.
running like he was and across his body. He is definitely an athlete. I wonder what other sports. I'm sure he plays basketball. He looks like he's got a great body for basketball, but he's also got a great body for a football player. I mean, he's an athlete.
And again, if you didn't know, this is the combination of two great schools, Hazelwood and Cortland. You talk about championship programs, and they have been able to maintain, although they have yet to win a state title. They did play for one against Brantley a few years ago under Coach Vincent. Vincent did lead the girls basketball team to a state title. But this team will be back in the next few years.
No doubt. You can look and you can see the athleticism that they have. And they don't reload, they recycle. I mean, they continually have good athletes in that area. So nothing to hang their head about. They've had a good year this year, and they're going to go to the playoffs. And
it seems like the teams with a great tradition seem to kick it up a notch when they get into the postseason. It doesn't matter what sport it is. There's a pass over the middle complete. Running room for Davis. And holding on for dear life is Stone Fincher. And I believe a flag comes in right at the end of the play. Stone is an 8th grader trying to tackle a senior.
Yeah.
Now think about that for a second.
Got a hold of him and just wouldn't let go.
Personal foul will go against Hackleburg. One of the few mistakes they've made tonight.
And again, I think it was after the play.
All the way down to about the 26 is the mark, so Hubbard will have it there, 1st and 10. Carter to throw in the flat, complete. Texas Shelby with the catch.
Running.
And he's still on his feet.
Running.
And did he get in?
He did.
Yep, touchdown. 26-yard pass play. Carter to Texas Shelby, the fullback.
Texas Shelby.
Gotta love that name.
That is a great name.
So the Chiefs put a 6 spot up, now 36-13 with 1:20 to go. And again, I don't want to take anything away from the touchdown, but this is a lot of youngsters out there for Hackleburg and much bigger players for Hubbard, and that's why they're running through those arm tackles.
A lot of them got a piece of him, but just couldn't hang on to it.
Give those guys a couple of years, they'll be making that tackle.
Yep.
They'll go for 2. Davis gets it to make it 36-15 with 1:21 to go. Well, you've been covering high school football all year, not only with us here at Raycom, but also on Friday nights. A lot of times you're in the eastern part of the state. We've had some great games. We've had some upsets all across the state.
Well, I think that two of the biggest upsets, I believe, in the state of Alabama took place last Friday night. One of them, Auburn High, defeated Prattville, who Prattville came into the game ranked number 2 in 6A, right? Or is it
actually 7A? Yeah.
Number 2 in 7A.
It's hard to keep up.
It's hard to keep up, but and not only did Auburn upset them, but they ran all over them, 37-7. But then the other big upset was, we mentioned a little bit ago, was down at Spanish Fort. The state's longest winning streak came to an end as Daphne won that game 7-0, and I think they scored with like 4:38 or something left in the game. A tremendous defensive battle down there. And, of course, you got to remember Spanish Fort is playing without their starting quarterback, who went down with an ACL injury, so that was a big factor for them. Their offense not as potent as it was before he was injured. So those 2 big upsets took place, but just things happening all over the place.
Yeah, I was just kind of going through the different region standings. Like I said earlier, there's just not there's several regions that remain unfinished.
Yeah, undecided.
They will try the, I guess I'll call that an onside kick. And now basically running for his life.
And he's loose.
And he's got room to run. Down the sidelines, looks like he's out of bounds. Around the 15. That is Peyton Crow. How about that? Something tells me he hasn't done that before. I may be wrong, but you look at, again, back on these. Well, let's take a look first at this.
He's going to pick it up. He's going to go one direction. Then he's going to take back across the field. And he's going to get past the containment over there, get the sideline, and he's got daylight. And just gets nicked. He gets a big shot from Tombo that knocked him out of bounds there.
But it looks like Hackleburg's going to take a knee and try to finish up as we've got about a minute to play in this one. But again, going back to what we've seen, we saw Leeds go down earlier this year in an upset. That's of course in I believe 4A. I mean, every classification seems like the #1 team, for the most part, has lost games this year. We have very few teams undefeated.
And we've seen some teams, Graham, that started slowly and maybe got off to a disappointing start, come back and play very strong. One that comes to mind is Dadeville. You know, we saw them in the Champions Challenge, but then we got to the regular season, and they've come back strong.
Well, they're going to celebrate here on this near sideline. Hackleburg, the final seconds ticking off. As they do, why don't we check out our Alabama Army National Guard defender of the game. And it is from Hackleburg, number 8, Briley Holland. Had a fumble recovery in the fourth quarter.
Yep.
And set up a touchdown. But really a well-rounded win for these Panthers, who improved to 8-1 on the year. 6-0, they finish a perfect season in region play.
What a great year for Hackleburg so far, and a great thing for this community as they finally get true home football games back.
So again, 8-1, 6-0 are the Panthers after their 36-15 win. Ari Hubbard falling to 5-4 and 4-2 in region play. But again, they are still in the playoffs and will be probably the 3rd seed. So we'll call it a night here in Hackleburg. Hope everyone has a great weekend. We'll have our final telecast next week from Saraland. For everybody, have a great night. So long.